Okay, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Jorge is officially back.
Yes.
Hey, buenos dias.
Jorge is officially back. Jorge, what's going on, brother?
What's up,
Emily, good morning to you.
Roar.
And DeMarco far in the house as well.
What is happening?
What is going on, DeMarco?
You're getting close to a full lineup on the show.
We're getting
Jorge's
closer.
back.
Yeah, Jorge was gone. How long? About a month?
Month, yeah.
Okay, 1 month
Exactly.
he was gone.
Yeah.
And, you know,
How'd
we
you
have
get
a
out? I'm sorry, number 9.
I had to. I needed to.
T-Raj is gone for a couple of days. He'll be back on Thursday. Travis, by the way, doesn't usually – it's kind of an odd one for Travis, like a vacation Monday through Wednesday. I'm actually happy Travis kind of taking vacations every once in a while. The guy never takes vacations.
Where are the Dodgers? That's my question.
Where are the Dodgers?
Is he going hardcore baseball on us?
No,
Following the Dodgers somewhere?
Yeah.
no, he can't because they're here.
They're here.
Unless, and I wouldn't
He
be
may
actually
be going while they're here.
I wouldn't be shocked that I know he's not going. I know he's
Yeah.
not
But he's
going.
done that before where he does like a staycation and just
Yep.
stays in LA, but stays here in LA, not in South OC
Yeah.
where he lives.
Trav, basically, the furthest he's gone, I think, in the last 25 years is Arizona. It's the furthest that he's been. So
He went to
when
Virginia
that.
one time.
when he does a staycation,
Yeah.
he's literally probably going like within a 30, 40 mile radius.
Perfect.
That's it.
Perfect. But don't you guys sometimes like to unplug and just be a fan?
Oh,
And
yeah.
just
No,
go
of
and
course.
watch stuff?
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's there now. You
I'm
know?
assuming
Yeah.
he's consuming Dodger baseball. That's for
course.
sure.
He'll consume it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll definitely consume
Yeah.
it. That's right, Dodgers and Giants. Jorge, welcome back, brother.
Yes, sir.
How we doing over there?
We're good. I actually, thanks for asking. Today is a month ago today. My son was born. So everybody else was born a month ago today. So he's a month old. We made
Nice.
it. We made it to the 1 month mark, baby.
You
Okay,
made it.
give
Yes,
us
sir.
give us some of the details. How
How
kind
is
of
he?
life has changed
Pretty
man.
good.
here.
You look
Just-
pretty rested.
Oh man, that's
Not
all-
even rested. The guy
Yeah.
looked like he dropped some lbs. He
Oh,
looks
man.
healthy.
You
Now
do
he's
look
back
yoked.
here. Now
Yeah.
it's back
Now
to
back to coffee, like early in the morning, and then whatever they have to offer.
4
cupcakes.
donuts.
The
Yeah.
opposite of health. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's been good. It's been good. It's been adjusting, adjustment, because you go from 1 kid to now 2 and dividing that kind of attention. And then also it's like, it's just, I was just telling DeMarco, you learn how to be patient again, because you're losing your marbles with the 5-year-old because she wants to do her, things her way.
Okay.
But then, the other one wakes up at 2, 3 in the morning crying because he's hungry. And it's like, I can't get mad at him. He doesn't know any better.
He's
know?
got
So
no
it's-
idea what's
yeah,
going
exactly.
on.
Nothing.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn how to be patient again. And then, like you said, I've been working out, started playing soccer again. And then last week I played against I play defense, so there's 2 kids on the other team. One of them just graduated high school. The other one's 17 years old who plays varsity soccer. And I'm keeping up with these guys. And then I'm like, dang, you guys play high school, don't you? They're like, yeah, varsity. That guy just graduated. I'm like, man, I'm keeping up with you
You
guys.
feel pretty good.
And then the guy's like,
Yeah.
well, how old are you, man? You play college? I was like, fool, I'm almost 40.
Wow.
Like, I'm 30-something, 37. He's like, dude, you look like a solid 28-year-old with gray hair.
This is what I
I was
like
like,
to see.
oh.
I like to see. I want you to get. Find out what your cholesterol level is right now. Find out what your weight is right now. And then
Yeah.
in 2 months, let's check in again. Because I
Okay.
think him coming back here, all of a sudden,
That'd be a good test.
yeah, all of a sudden now, he kind of might gain 7 to 10 pounds. All of a sudden, he's not playing as much soccer. I think this place, as great as it is,
But,
I don't know what's going on over there, but
Yeah, yeah.
we always got food coming
You
in.
need
There's-
a camera that stays on you for when that smile just gets wiped off. He's so happy right now. You know what I mean?
I know. DeMarco was like, you just had a baby. Like, when do you sleep? I was like, whenever the baby does.
I'm like, are you? I'm just making sure. Are you guys
No,
getting
yeah.
rest? It's rough.
For sure.
And all that patience you're talking about, yeah, that all
Yeah.
goes away once they go
Okay,
double
how,
digits.
how
Yeah.
much? I got a cousin of mine. He has 3 kids, and they're
Yeah.
all young. They're all probably under 7, something
Yeah.
like that. And he was telling me because his wife's originally from Toronto, so he's actually flying out today to Toronto. But the kids and the wife were there for a couple of days. He's telling me on Saturday, he's like, I finally got sleep. And I couldn't really process what he was saying. He's
Yeah.
like, for the last 5 years, I haven't got sleep. Like, I finally got sleep. He's like, I'm
Zero.
up at this time, that time. It is like so far of what you've been in right now. Are you good on your sleep pattern, or is it all over the place?
I mean, the sleep pattern's all over the place. Like, right now would be probably napping, watching the news, and probably falling asleep on the couch because the kid's asleep.
Yeah.
And then by noon, 12:30, he's up. He's up for feeding. Either I feed him or Brenda does. And then by 1:15, I'm out the door to go pick up my other one from school. But she's in spring break right now, so
Yep.
they're probably sleeping in. So
I'm jealous of people that can sleep. Because even when you sleep, you don't sleep.
Okay, but you don't.
Yeah, you don't know you're sleeping.
What time do you wake up? You get up super early, right?
You're always up. Your eyes are just closed. You're always up. You are. Your eyes are just closed. Really. Anything you
that
hear
might
something,
be the best quote I've ever heard.
What happened? Yeah, I mean, you're up. So, I mean, I do envy people. I think I hear Emily talking about sleep sometimes.
Yeah, no, I sleep a lot. I have no children, so I sleep a lot.
But you were doing the same thing, right? Like
What?
in Emily's position, she does not have kids. Obviously, I don't have kids either. But I'm saying that I'm sure there was a stage in your life where you were getting those that sleep that.
But I don't remember them anymore. They're gone. That's what I mean. I don't remember that. I'm jealous.
Did you do your walk this morning?
Yes. Yeah.
You already did it. You already got it out of the way.
Oh yeah.
What time did you do it?
I was up at 4:30.
You're up at
out the door.
4:30?
Yeah, out the door by 5:15. Yeah.
Damn.
What?
Is this every day?
Every day. Got to do it. It's harder.
What time do you go to bed? What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed when the kid goes to bed. So when she hits it about 8:00, I'm in bed a half hour later.
Yeah, you got to take advantage. When they
Of
go
course.
to sleep, you got to go to sleep.
See? Yeah.
That's the way it works, man.
And then your eyes just open at like 3 a.m.
Also, you know what? Congrats, our man
up?
Carlo. Also,
That's right.
Congrats to Carlo.
Carlo.
Yes.
man. Like he's got a daughter at home as well. And
Yep.
I hope he's getting
Emily,
his sleep.
don't drink the water. Something's going on in
Was
there.
that
I'm good. I'm very good.
Friday? No, it was
Congrats,
Thursday.
brother.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Carlo had his kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how's Brenda doing, too, Jorge?
Okay, so DeMarco's talking about sleep and stuff like that. So we had to change things up this past week so I can get used to waking up early and coming back here again. And then next week's going to change again because I got to take my kid back to school because she goes back to school. So we kind of switched things around. She's been taking over what we call the night shift. So anytime the kid wakes up at midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, whatever, she has to wake up and kind of see, watch over him like that. So we switched it up this week, and I'm pretty sure she's sleeping. If not, I'll get a text right now like, "Hey, dude, I'm listening."
Nice.
Any ounce of your daughter, like, hey, why is he getting so much attention? Yeah?
You feel it. Yeah, that's one of probably the hardest parts right now, adjusting to that. Like she's used to having all the attention. Now she's splitting the attention. Like last week we started hearing her say like, "Hey, can you guys play with me? Hey, can we go to the park real quick? Hey, can we do this?" Because before she wasn't asking you to do stuff like that, and now it's like, "Hey, can you play with me? Hey, can you take me to the park?" And it's like, sure. Like I can't be mad and be like, no,
of course not.
Sit there or whatever. Like no, so like we got to make time.
You
for
have
her.
to.
You have to. Well, now you have to.
I asked my brothers that, like when I was 12, 13, when you can ask questions of your older brothers. Hey, why did you guys always beat me up? Because we were jealous of you. Because you were the baby.
Grabbing all the attention.
Right, but like, it's not my fault, man. I didn't do anything. I was just there. Yeah. Why are you mad at me? Be mad at mom. She did it.
You're the baby too, Alan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Yep.
So you know what I mean? Yeah. How was your oldest?
Yeah, but I had two older sisters. So they
God,
weren't.
I feel bad for you.
No, but they weren't.
Really?
Yeah. It actually wasn't that bad at all.
Not the psychological
no,
warfare?
Nothing.
No,
None of that. Or maybe it was such a bad psychological warfare that they were playing chess, I was playing checkers, and I still don't know today
that might be
what
the
they were
case.
doing.
How they messed you up.
It's like our sleep cycle. We don't remember those days anymore.
Gone. Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised
I
at
tortured my older sister. I tortured her because I was the second born, and I would always like pull my sister's hair and fight with her, and she was not allowed to fight back because she was the older sister. And so my parents enforced that until my grandmother whispered in Claire's ear and was like, "Hey, you can hit her back." And then eventually,
then she got.
But I still have. I feel like she still is a very, very kind older sister and helps her younger sister out a lot. And I maybe don't do the same thing back. But I've worked on it over 28 years.
Well, Jorge, congratulations,
Thanks.
brother.
Yeah,
Great to have you back.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats to Carlo as well.
Can't say the name? Is that bad to say?
No. His name is Gael.
Gael.
Yeah.
I love that name.
Yeah, Gael.
I want to keep saying it.
Did you say it was after? It was.
He's an actor.
Okay.
So,
Gael Garcia Bernal.
Yeah, Gael Garcia Bernal. That's his name. He's a Mexican actor. He's been in Mozart's Jungle or something like that, right, Em?
Yes, Mozart in the Jungle. He's also was in Y Tu Mamá
Any
También.
movie question, go right there.
Yep.
And
Who?
He's the voice of
Go
Coco.
right there. Any movie
Any day
question.
we'll go.
Any movie.
Yeah.
No,
any movie question
trivia.
you
I've been
have.
dying for this.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Movie trivia. Me and
You can't
me and
hang
Emily.
with her.
I bet. I'll take that bet. Yeah.
DeMarco.
Let's go.
By
Have
the
you
way,
listened
I
to
went
the
to your
show?
boy Tarantino's theater yesterday. I saw two movies back to back. I saw Women on the Verge of a Nervous
She
Breakdown.
saw two
and
movies
Run,
back
Run.
to back. What did you do yesterday? This is
I'm
what she
putting in the
does.
work.
I watched 3 movies, but from home. Yeah. Anyway, what'd you watch?
I watched Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. It's Almodovar. He's a Spanish director. And then I saw Run, Lola, Run.
Yeah.
It's a German movie. I loved it.
I saw a Polish flick yesterday.
What was it?
Called No Pressure.
What's it about?
I didn't know you were that into movies.
I love movies. Well, there's nothing else to do, man. I told you.
Because you don't sleep.
I don't sleep. This is
Gets
all we
his
do.
walk in at 4:30 in the morning, and then he watches
Put on
movies.
some
Of course. Yes. We'll talk about that later.
Are you a movie subscriber? How do you get these foreign films?
Illegally
I
streamed.
take suggestions. I do. There's a movie called Bullhead. I guarantee you will never forget. And I think it's Swedish.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie
out.
The Drop?
No, I haven't seen
No.
it.
Tom
I haven't
Hardy,
seen
The
The Drop
Drop?
either.
Okay, see?
Hey, speaking of movies that you never forget, have you seen The Kite Runner? It's an
Yes.
Oh,
American
my
movie.
God.
Read the book.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see it.
That's a movie you can't
Yeah.
you can never forget.
Yeah. Terrible.
That was years ago, right?
It was.
Yeah, that was years ago.
it's an
Are you not a
Afghan
movie guy?
Well, not to that extent.
You're a travel guy.
No, but I like going to movies.
Yeah.
Emily and I have talked about this where there's a theater not too far from where I am in Pasadena called Landmark.
Yeah.
And it doesn't play, like it plays the hits, but it also plays a lot of
Deep
foreign
cuts.
movies, stuff like that. I like going.
Real film.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan of seeing the film. I
across
didn't know you were that big.
American film is real film, but
No,
international
across the
film
street
is
from
good.
across the street from where I live, a guy is what do you call that? The key grip.
Okay.
So he
Oh, yeah,
knows
yeah.
everybody, and every
Very
time I
cool.
say movie, he corrects me and says film.
Film, oh my
so that's
God.
what,
Okay, well, that's
exactly.
the worst.
Yeah, right. So I say film now.
Yeah, so at that Tarantino place I saw it last night, the New Beverly, they're always like, oh, everything we show here is always on film because film's the best. And I'm like, okay, some digital things are cool too. Like, I just watched Dude, but also I watched it on film too. But anyway, it's just like digital is okay, but film is better.
Neat.
Okay, we got a lot to get into today. 10:45, we're gonna do Ask DeMarco only because you love Ask DeMarco.
I do. I think.
He's not sure if he does. So just a couple things on DeMarco Farr. Obviously a Super Bowl champ. Played in the league for a number of years. You could ask questions about football, preferably weird questions about football, not like just straight up football questions. What do you do?
Anything, yeah.
Any of that stuff. I didn't know you were this much into movies, so any movie questions that you have. He was also in a video with Nelly.
You got to keep bringing that up.
Any Nelly videos, any questions about the video that he's in with Nelly in the St. Louis, you could do that as well. That's going to come up at 10:45. What?
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you.
What do you expect?
You're welcome, my friend.
My
Like,
man.
we hear you talk
I'm
about
back.
Rams all the
You
time.
longer
You
than
were
him.
in a video with Nelly. How are we not going to bring that up? People might have questions
The
about
younger
your
version of me.
time
Yeah, the one
with
that
Nelly.
could remember how to sleep.
Nelly
That
was
guy.
in your video. That's what I'm going to say moving forward. It was
Whatever.
actually your video that Nelly appeared in.
If we were all in a music video, we'd talk about that all the time too.
Every day.
Sure, man.
Oh, by the way,
Every day.
maybe we can talk about this on the other side, but Jorge was in something over the
What?
weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about it on
Yes.
the other side too.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. Plus, Lakers 3-1 so far on this road trip. Bron drops 9 threes yesterday against Brooklyn. I want to spend a little time talking about. Bron said something yesterday that I think it's so easy to take for granted because we're watching LeBron every single day about just how much time that he has left in the NBA. We'll do that coming up next. Stay right here, Travis and Sliwa Show on 710 ESPN. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call or click Grainger.com or just stop by.
The biggest show on the radio.
That's Mason in Ireland. Weekday
710 ESPN.
Jorge, come on, man.
Well, listen. We're going to come back in at about 10:30.
Yeah.
10:42.
You know
no,
what I
about
don't
10:45.
know? Yeah.
11. I think this.
How did Nelly play in L.A.? I wasn't in L.A. when Nelly blew up.
Nelly was big, period.
He was just big everywhere.
Period.
Okay, because he was. I mean, he went.
I grew up growing up in San Diego.
Yeah.
Nelly was huge.
He went from this kid that we saw.
Yep.
You know, like, you need to go back to school, kid, to Nelly in like a year. It was incredible, like how he blew up. But I thought it was just a Midwest thing.
No, high schools
he
here
was
were
big.
playing, homies were bumping in.
Okay, everybody was.
So
Okay,
it was cool.
all right. Then keep
And then
playing
when
it
we
then.
saw you in the video,
Yeah. You didn't know it was me until I told you.
real deal. Yeah, I didn't know. You're right about that. Had no idea
Do you
until
know
then.
who I was with in that video? The guy I
I
was
think
sitting
you
next
told me.
to.
I think you told me before.
Anybody?
Who was it?
Ozzie Smith.
Oh yeah, that's
Baseball
right.
Hall of Famer.
You said that.
Yeah. You want to talk about being out of place? A dude that was like, what am I doing in this video?
Ozzie Smith is probably in his.
I think he was in his 50s then.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
Yeah.
got to be in his late 60s now,
Yeah.
something along those
Okay,
lines.
so how do you end up in the video? He calls you guys.
Yeah.
Like, how does that? How does the whole setup for? Hey, we want you in my music video. Come
For
through.
those who don't
I
know,
mean, it was Nelly.
DeMarco was invited
Right,
to
but, like,
Nelly's
explain,
video.
like, for
Hey,
us,
Nelly's shooting a music video, and everybody knew the street we're on. He's going to take over the street. He wants you to come in and, like, you know, do a walkthrough on the
Was
video.
it for you specifically, or was like any Rams player? that
Marshall's in that video. Marshall Falk's in that video.
Yep.
Torrey
Yeah.
Holt's in that video.
Yeah.
I mean,
Isaac.
Isaac Bruce is not in that video. Ray
Okay.
Langford, who was very popular in St. Louis and the Midwest, is in that video. So anybody who was like an athlete is in that video in St. Louis at the time. Yeah. So that's how he just, hey, look, we want you to do a walkthrough. Heck yeah.
Guys, there's a lot of Ask DeMarco questions we
Yeah.
can do
Oh, yeah.
towards that. Jorge, what were you in?
all right,
What was
so-
Emily set this up here?
Cool. So there's something on Apple TV called Messi Meets America, episode 4 called Road Trip.
I won't see it.
Yeah, of course not.
I think Travis is watching it right now.
Probably.
He's watching the whole
I'll
series.
hit him up. I'll text
Yeah.
him. Like, yeah. So there's we got to cover here at the station. We're the home of LAFC, so we got to cover the Messi game when Miami came out here.
Yeah.
And DeAndre and I were backstage, or when the bus arrives. So I'm watching this episode, and Messi comes to LA. The bus pulls up, and in the background you see DeAndre, who works in the afternoon show with Sedano and Cap.
Yep.
He's in the back, kind of like looking around because we're trying to figure things out. And then at some point, Messi's walking towards the dressing room, and then the camera who's following him from the other side catches me following him.
Bro, but
as
how
he's
about
walking
this?
in the
He's
locker room.
watching this doc,
Yeah.
not knowing he's on
I'm
the
in it.
doc. So just
Wow.
while he's
Yeah.
watching the doc,
You
and
were
it's
looking for yourself, right? Like you're like,
No.
oh, maybe I'll be there.
I was there. Wait a minute. That's me.
I mean, this
he just kept pausing the whole time. He just kept pausing.
No, I stopped it. I'm like, Brenda, get over here. Like,
Okay.
I'm on, like, look, check this out. And she's like, dude, like, you're on that episode. I'm
But
like,
this
yeah.
isn't any type of
It's not.
doc. This is Messi.
yeah.
Meets America. Yeah, exactly.
Like the fact that he's on there with Messi. What was DeAndre doing? Did DeAndre
The
was
whole
just-
world
He's
saw
not-
it.
Well, he's in the back, kind of like, we're just trying to figure things out at that point.
So
That's
what
pretty damn
episode was
cool.
it, and where can people find it? So Apple TV Plus. What episode was it?
Episode 4, Road Trip.
Okay. So
Yeah.
and what were you wearing so that people can like?
We're wearing our green vest. I'm bald at the time.
Yep.
Green vest, and then just following with the camera.
And what were you wearing during your Nelly video?
A crushed velour sweatsuit
Ayo.
that I still have. Don't ask me how much it costs, though. Wow. Yeah.
Can you
I
fit
won't
into
ask.
it now?
I won't ask.
Can you fit into it?
That thing's a 4X. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was the 90s.
Some
See?
drawstrings?
Buy everything
Yeah.
big. Right. See? 4X sweatsuit.
Well, I remember NBA games. A lot of these guys that remember before they eventually changed the dress code for the NBA players that
Yeah.
weren't playing and things along those lines. I remember I think it was like might have been like Gerald Wallace or one of those. I'm trying to think of which player it was. You said it was 4X. Bro, that was in the 90s and in the early 2000s. Every NBA player, everything was like 8 times the size
Super
of what that
baggy.
player was.
I know.
I mean, you look at all the Kobe highlights from that era, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's falling off of it.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was a style. Like, we used to do that. Like, look at those. We used to do that.
It just kind of.
Oh my God.
That happens in every.
Baggy.
I
in
couldn't
every
find
time.
a pair of jeans anywhere because of you small dudes like Jorge buying my size jeans. So you guys can look big. Come on, dude. See? Right.
cover-
right.
hey,
The
to
big
co-
jeans.
Play pants on the ground.
Hey,
Wow.
pants were so baggy they would cover the Air Force Ones.
Big
right?
time. See?
So,
It's a style back
at
then.
least.
Yeah, it
I'm
was a
not going to
style.
fight you over some shoes. Anyway.
Okay, so Lake Show, 3-1 so far on this road trip.
Yeah.
I'll point that out, and then I want to talk about LeBron here for a quick second.
Good. I have a question for you.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
they're 9 games over 500. They're 3-1 on this road trip. I already think. I mean, at this point, the fact that they won that Milwaukee game, did lose on Friday night against Indiana, kind of a weird game. Lakers didn't play well at all, so there's nothing to justify there. But I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but I'm not going to make a big deal. When you're on the road, I don't really care who the competition is to. If you're 3-1 on the road trip and you got a chance in these next couple of days to go 5-1, very good chance. Toronto is not playing anybody. They've lost 13 games in a row. The Wizards one could be interesting because it's a second of a back-to-back, but we'll worry about that when we get there. It's as good as I've seen the Lakers play. And again, I'm going to put the competition to the side because
Just the Lakers. Just that product. Okay.
just the fact that they're stacking up W's. They're 9 games over 500. They look like there's a little bit of, okay, we
Do you know who they are yet?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know their identity? That's part of the question I have.
I'll tell you what their identity
Because
is.
winning by hook or by crook, I love it. You need W's. You need Sac to lose.
Especially them.
Phoenix to lose
Yep,
and the
those
Warriors
two.
to lose. You're hoping. You're in the, well, I can't say what it is. But have you found, do you see an identity on this team right now?
So the identity of what they are today is not the identity I thought they were going to be a couple months ago, but this is who they are. They're going to try to put up as many points as possible on you. That's unfortunately kind of their identity right now.
Okay.
They got to outscore you.
Yeah.
They got actually one of the best offenses in the NBA since January 1st, since the All-Star deadline.
I don't mind that approach. I think all-out offensive basketball is a joy to watch.
It's a joy to watch. I guess the question is going to be, all right, come playoff time when things slow down, how sustainable is it? But it's the only way they can win right now. It's the only way. If they try to slow things down.
I mean, we saw it with a 90-point game on what was it, Saturday against the Pacers.
It was Friday. Friday. That's so weird. They scored 150 against the Pacers a week ago, and then on Friday they scored 90. There was a 60-point difference between the two games.
You know what was going to happen.
They couldn't hit a shot. They were 5 for 30 from the 3-point line. But to answer your question about the identity, I don't think this is ideal, but I think this is how they feel like this is their best chance to win right now. We got to outscore our opponents. And what I mean by that is move the pace. Their starting 5, solid. As good as a starting 5 as you can have. They got nothing really after that.
What'd you get off the bench last night? 2 points?
They got 2 points off the bench.
2 points off the
Pepe
bench.
texted me the moment I mentioned that.
How do you get only 2 points off the bench?
2 points off the bench.
We could give them 2 points off the bench.
2 points off. That's unreal. Okay,
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. They get 2 points. The starting lineup had 114 points.
Can't argue with that. Right.
I mean,
that is not sustainable in the playoffs.
And I'm with you on that. Like, you got to have a little bit of depth. The guys are going to have, if you have a couple of guys that aren't shooting well, all right, well, where are you going to get your point? And I'm talking about if you got a couple of guys that are on the bench, or I'm sorry, in the starting lineup that aren't shooting well, where's the rest of your help going to come?
Correct.
But to answer your question, I think that's kind of their identity until they could potentially grab a couple guys that come back and have a little bit more of a defensive mindset.
Okay,
and that has not been the case so
So
far.
Darvin Ham has turned into Mike D'Antoni overnight. We're just going to outscore people. This is our motive now. So I like it. That's an identity.
Only if you're winning, and they're winning. So then they're like, all right, well, let's just continue to do this, and that's what they're doing.
But you're not going to get a LeBron like what you saw last night every night. He's not going to shoot that well from
You're probably never going to see that again from LeBron.
That's what I'm saying.
That's an unbelievable. Like you're probably never going to see that
40
again.
points from LeBron is yay. He outscored his age, right? Mm-hmm. But then you realize 27 came from three. Yeah, it's a little bit different, right?
And Bron's going to have.
That's a Steph Curry line.
Yeah, Bron's going to have nights where he's going to go 2 of 10 from 3.
Right.
So that it will even itself out, but you're not typically going to get that. No. So to answer your question, you're not typically going to get that.
The other part of that question was, have you moved your expectation from a month ago or 2 months ago? Because, was it 2-3 months ago, everybody had this team just about dead?
Yep.
Okay. Have you moved your expectation? Not just getting into the postseason, but actually doing damage if you get into the playoffs.
I'll give you the new expectations when we come back. Because I think it's a good question. And I think it has to have changed for some people out there.
Not for the world. I'm talking to you.
So I'll tell you what my expectations are, but I feel like there's also the league is probably looking at the Lakers a little bit different than they were a couple months ago. I don't think that's a stretch as well, so we'll do that when we come back. Plus, I want to read off a quote from Bron at the end of the game yesterday. We'll do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, DeMarco Farr in the house, 710 ESPN. All right, we got breaking news from Pizza Hut. How about this? Any medium pizza right now with any of your favorite toppings are all just $12. Any recipe, any toppings, any medium for $12. DeMarco, are you listening to me? Any medium pizza, just $12.
He's
All right.
gobsmacked.
Order now.
I am now.
He just downloaded the app. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com.
I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki.
Travis and Sliwa.
But do you think it's the right move? Do you think it's the right strategy?
No. Live from LA Live on 710 ESPN.
Bro, we got some really, really good Ask DeMarco questions already in line right now.
Good questions or
good questions?
Or
good
questions you like?
No, I think good questions.
Okay.
Like questions that I'm curious to get your answer of because it could go one way or the other.
Okay.
So send those in.
You're
Ask
not gonna-
DeMarco coming up at 10:45.
Not the hard questions that...
No, they don't.
Okay.
if you're familiar with this
not
and that
feeding
show,
people questions.
there's definitely not going to be.
Okay.
Hey,
See,
what
Emily's
happens?
laughing.
I just DM some of our regulars.
Are
like,
you
hey,
feeding
ask this
people
one.
questions? Yes. I can't ask him. You ask him.
Hey, Caspervilla, ask this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No way.
What happens in the upcoming election?
Oh, see, right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly.
Right.
Put you on the spot.
Hey, I have a question.
Ask
Jorge,
DeMarco from there.
you're a boxing fan, right?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, of course.
Would
That
you let
is
your
how-
son be a boxer?
Look, I think so.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I mean, if that's something that he's really putting the work into, like,
Yeah.
for sure.
If he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
could see it.
'Cause
Hey,
it's all about, it's
Yeah.
about the work. We tried having my little brother play soccer. He didn't like it.
yeah.
Then he started putting in the work for baseball, so my dad's like, all right, let's go.
Got to
for it.
let him play what he wants to play.
Exactly.
Would you? Okay. How about just your experience, all your time in the NFL? Is that a sport you would encourage others to play?
Absolutely, if you can play. And it's harder to try to tell people that you shouldn't play this. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't think this is the sport for this kid. You know what I mean? Because I get this question all the time. Hey, come watch my kid. What do you think? Oh, hey, look, you should send him to this guy. He trains receivers. Or send him to this guy. He trains offensive linemen. Hey, I don't think your son should play. I don't think your daughter should play. I don't think that's the sport. I don't think they have the right temperament for
How
the
do
sport.
you approach that conversation with your kid? Like, whether it's you see that they aren't going to reach a level and that they probably won't have that, or like how do you teach a kid like maybe the sport they don't want to play? Like, how do you approach those?
Introduce something new. Introduce something until they find something they like. That's what I'm saying. It might be harder. Like, if your son turns out to be a good boxer, then you can do this. But what if he stinks, but he still wants to box? You know, like he's getting his butt kicked, but he loves it. Like, how do you tell him to, hey, you need
you're
to
risking
stop.
your body,
right,
especially
you need to
in
not
boxing.
do this.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because that one's
Yeah.
a real like health one. It's
Yeah.
not somebody that's awful at a piano and you're like, all right, well, if you want to keep playing the piano, go ahead and play it. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's not, it's
You're
not
not
going to be an
getting
issue.
Piano's
CTE
not
from
going to hit you.
piano,
right.
It might cost a little money.
Dislocated his finger again.
right.
Got
But
his
not going to
finger
knock
out.
you cold. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's an interesting one there.
What about
Okay.
if your kid wanted to play a sport that you absolutely could not stand watching? Like, is there a sport you can't stand watching?
Okay. I hope this isn't like sports
Swimming?
blast. No, I love swimming.
Okay.
Golf.
Okay. So if your kid really wanted to be a golfer,
I'm praying that she doesn't want to golf ever.
You personally hate watching golf. Well,
See?
I'm not a. No, you don't need to do
Travis
anything.
Loves golf. Ireland loves golf. A lot of people at this
Yeah, but there's a
station
lot
love
of
golf.
people that don't watch golf.
Here's
Golf
my
is
thing
an
on golf.
easy one to not watch.
When they talk about golf and they love it, and I do ask, like,
Yeah.
where do you find the enjoyment? Because I'm still trying to find it.
But it's
Yeah.
different to play something and enjoy it and not watch. Like, I don't play golf often. When I do play, I'm like, oh, that was kind of fun. That was a fun round. But I'm not watching
Okay,
golf.
what you just said, I've
Yeah.
never said, ever. And I played a lot of golf. Like,
You
wow,
never
that was
enjoyed it?
fun.
Yeah.
Not once. Is that bad?
No. I
Okay.
think
Is
it's
it
bad.
because you get frustrated, or is it because
Yeah, are you
don't go with the right
competitive to
people?
where
It's just-
you think like
If you created the sport that is anti-DeMarco, it would be that. It's
golf?
We're going to be standing around forever. There's 18 holes. This is going to last 4 hours. You know what I mean? And I got to be on point.
we should all go golfing?
Yeah. Right.
A buddy of mine used to say.
It's quiet. Yeah.
A buddy of mine used to say race car driving. Like, how do you practice that? Like, you race your
Yeah.
neighbor to the gas station so you get there first. Like, how do you practice?
Like those
F1?
kids in F1, they start
NASCAR.
really early and
Yeah.
they do like the kids F1 leagues. It must be just that these kids really like it.
Those carts,
and but
yeah.
you have to have a little
It's-
money behind it to get
Oh,
these
for
cars.
sure.
I just
Yeah.
watched this documentary about one of the guys that died, and his sons are racing now. And then Lionheart. No,
Oh, Earnhardt, Dale Earnhart.
Dale Earnhardt
no.
Jr.
This one's called Lionheart. It's an F1 driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? No, that guy's still alive. Anyway, yeah. Well,
His kids are driving carts, and the mom is like going through this. Like, the kids want to drive, dad
Sheesh.
died, but she says at 14 he'll test for F1. Oof. Like,
is it Michael
Yeah.
Schumacher? That guy?
no, not Schumacher. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
It's called Lionheart, or you look it up. It's called Lionheart. My computer's
I'll look it up.
My
Okay.
computer stinks in here. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me play some sound here real quick. I'm gonna get back to your expectations on the Lakers
Yeah.
in a second here, but I want to play something from Braun yesterday. I think DeMarco, if I told you could stay at the best hotel and you could stay there every single night, over time you're just not going to appreciate what that hotel is. If you're staying at a
Yeah.
5-star hotel 5 nights out of the week, just over time, naturally, it's just going to become normal to you, and you're not going to probably appreciate it as much as somebody else that gets to stay there once a year or something along those lines. I thought last night was interesting, or yesterday was interesting, because Lakers are in Brooklyn. They only play the Nets one time in Brooklyn. So every fan in that area, whether you're a Laker fan or a Nets fan, LeBron James is coming to town.
The attraction came to
They're
town.
excited to see LeBron James. And I don't know why it hit me yesterday, because first off, he's having one of those games, right? 9 of 10 from the three-point line. But when he's walking off the court, the entire arena at Barclays Center gave him a standing O, right? It was just oh my gosh, that was unbelievable. Look how good he is. Oh yeah, by the way, that's arguably the greatest player to ever do it. Where I think if you're a Laker fan, you're seeing this every night. It's not perfect every night. We bitch and complain about Braun too. Why is this? Why that? He said this and whatever it is. But last night I felt like it reminded you of, oh yeah, hey, that 5-star hotel that you're staying at, it's a pretty cool hotel.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody gets to stay here.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to appreciate it. And their fan base yesterday was like, hey, that's unbelievable.
Okay.
We're not going to get a chance to see him for another year back in Brooklyn.
That's a little weird, though. To give a standing ovation to somebody who kicked your butt, and give a standing ovation to that guy, I don't know.
Here's why.
It's kind of disrespectful to the Nets.
Here's why it happened, and it's the only reason why it happened. Brooklyn sucks,
right,
number one.
Of course.
Right, Brooklyn sucks. There's nothing to play for between the two franchises. They have no history against each other. I remember Michael Thompson said this one time, and he still brings it up today. Lakers had a game in Boston, and the crowd in Boston towards the end of the game, this is during Kobe's time, you know what they were chanting?
What?
MVP.
For Kobe?
For Kobe. And Michael was like, what the hell? I didn't know that I was going to live a day to see a player, a Los Angeles Laker, at the TD Garden or whatever it is, the Laker, and the crowd is chanting MVP. Now, for all I know, they were Laker fans, whatever it was, but that was going on.
Yeah.
That, to me, is much worse than a crappy Brooklyn Nets team that's cheering for Bron.
Can I bottle that for my GOAT argument? Yeah.
Yes.
I need that. That's good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he even made Boston give him a standing O. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Consider this situation. You're the San Diego Padres in the season that sucks. They are being terrible. They're getting blown out every game. You're going to these games because you love the San Diego Padres. And then the Giants come to town, and one of their players hits 3 home runs.
How about this? How about
you know standing O?
Can it be?
Can't be just a guy.
No.
Somebody special.
So let me say.
Ohtani comes to town, hits 3 home runs.
Let's say it's an AL team that has no history against the Padres.
Aaron Judge.
No. But let's say it was Derek Jeter's last time that he was going to come to San Diego.
Yeah,
this isn't LeBron's last time in Brooklyn.
Well, I was going to ask you.
There's a couple more years.
Okay, let me throw this out there.
You're playing the odds at 39. You never know.
You're 39,
yeah.
and Bron will take a day off here and there, right?
Sure.
So, next year, okay, what if he's injured next year? Knock on wood. What if he decided a game against Brooklyn he wasn't going to play? I don't know.
This might be your only opportunity.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I still think that it's a pretty weird sports move to give a standing O to a guy that kicked your butt on the team that you paid to go see.
Fair.
Unless you're in Laker gear. Unless you're a Laker fan in Brooklyn.
I think there were a lot of that, but then I also think there were probably Nets fans saying, I'm going to stand up for this dude.
Half were like you. That's LeBron. Let's appreciate greatness.
Yep.
We may not see it again. The other half was like, let's just stick it to our team because we stink. Because that's embarrassing to hear your crowd cheering the guy that just smashed us. So on one point, I'm with Emily, but the other side is that is LeBron.
But I was just going to say that's the only thing that I would stop at. It's Bron.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would stop at. When
and it might be your last stop.
Now this is different, M, because I think this is going to play into your case. When Kobe was in his final year, and you knew Kobe was in his final year, this is it. You had the farewell tour. So every stop he was going at, San Antonio was going to play him a tribute, right? Dallas is going to play him a tribute. That's different because you know this is the last stop. So that actually kind of plays more to her case.
True.
LeBron is going to eventually, he's going to announce that this is it.
Yeah.
It's a farewell tour.
You never know.
Let me play this real quick from Bron. So Bron was, after the game, was asked just about his time, how much time. Take a listen.
How long do you expect to continue playing in the NBA, LeBron? 9 out of 10 at your age and with your accomplishments, this is still like a head turner for a lot of people.
Yeah, not very long. Not very long. I'm on the other side, obviously, of the hill, so I'm not going to play another 21 years. That's for damn sure, but not very long. I don't know when that door was closed as far as when I retire, but I don't have much time left.
Was that in the context of Brooklyn cheering him?
Yes,
like
it was right after that.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wow.
But it's more in the context of you're still doing amazing things at this age. How much? I almost felt like the question was more, at this level, are you able to kind of still do it? Now, he said not that much time. He's talking about his time remaining. I don't know why, DeMarco, listen.
That's a good non-answer.
He's in his 21st year.
Yeah.
He's 39 years old. I know it's going to come to an end soon, but nobody's really talking about that. Instead, you're talking about, hey, is he going to sign an extension? It's going to be a 2-year extension. It's going to be this. Is LeBron going to end up playing with his son? This, that. I don't know why coming from his mouth is saying not that much longer. I don't know why that hit me different. Like, it almost was like, oh, yeah.
But it's true.
It is going to come to an end in the near future.
But you can't define how much not much longer is. A guy that's played 21 years, not much longer could be 10 years. You know what I mean? It's not much longer. We don't know. But I used to do this. I used to ask Larry Fitzgerald, like for the last 6 years of his career, is this it for you? And he would answer the same way. Why do you ask? And I would get stuck. Like, he's like, do I look slow? Am I looking bad out there? No, you look great, Larry. Then why are you asking me when I'm going to retire? I don't know. Everybody else wants to know. You're old now. Really?
I mean, Aaron Donald, too. I'm sure.
Well, Aaron, after 10 done. But it's the same thing. It's like, wow. Like, when somebody asks LeBron, how much longer can you do this? Like, I just scored 40 points. I can do this as long as I want to. Well, how much longer are you going to play? I don't know. Not that much longer.
I was looking at his. So he's played in 64 games so far this year. Okay, he's missed 10 games. He's still 25, 7, and 8 a game. Now, I'm not telling you that it's perfect, because it's not. There's plenty of times, Lakers, when they lost to the Pacers, Bron looked slow. He had 5 turnovers, and what the hell is this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but he's 39. He's still putting up.
You have to factor that
25, 7, and 8, and played 64 out of 74 games so far this year. So obviously incredible. Okay, top of the hour, 11 o'clock. I do want to talk a little bit about the Dodgers. Dodgers win 3 of 4 from the Cardinals. They start out the season 4-2. The questions about the starting pitching, I think this weekend should calm a little bit of nerves. Granted, it's just one weekend, but Glasnow, Yamamoto.
Pitching? You did? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is going to be fun.
No, there's a lot.
Oh, my God.
You got to have some questions.
Were you alone in that?
You got to have some questions. Got to have some questions. But we'll do that coming up at 11. Coming up next, it's Ask DeMarco. So make sure that you send those in. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN. All right, little Ask DeMarco here on this Monday. T-Raj, a couple days off. He's back on Thursday. Okay, let's start off with this one.
Hey,
it's not going to go away. I love it. It's not going to go away. Wow. All right, Daniel Tapia. So this is going to go back to just kind of the movie questions that we're asking, how much you love movies. You say you watch a lot at home.
A ton.
All right, your go-to snacks watching movies at home.
Wow, go-to snacks.
Like what is, if you're going to sit down and you're dedicating a couple of hours, what's happening around you?
It's kind of, boring.
It's okay.
Like cashews, popcorn.
Okay.
I may throw some chips in there.
Okay.
Stuff where I don't
What
have
kind
to
of
look.
chips?
Like Doritos.
Okay.
Yeah. Stuff,
Nacho cheese or blue Cool Ranch?
whatever's in that little combo, whatever's left. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm the closer. Whatever's left, I'm closing this out.
Even if they're a
Absolutely.
little stale, you still take
And
it.
they always leave me Cheetos.
Right?
They always leave me the Cheetos.
You know the worst part of that is when there's just enough left where it's too much, but just a little, or just it's like the wrong amount. So then by the time you're done eating basically half of the bag, you feel like, you know what?
Yeah.
But I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to leave the scraps left? I can't leave the scraps.
You got to finish.
Okay, how about candy? Do you do any candy?
If I do candy,
Okay.
I do Raisinets. But
Really?
But that's been since I was a kid. I love Raisinets. Yeah.
I don't think I've had that since. Yeah, I haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah,
Raisinets.
not
Yeah.
my go-to.
If
If you go
I-
to a theater, what do you get?
In the theater, big tub of popcorn.
Yeah.
Got to get a slushy.
Okay.
Or whatever
love
they're
that.
calling it,
Love
Slurpee,
that.
slushy,
that's good.
whatever.
I
Yeah.
love a
Whatever,
slushie
yeah.
at a movie theater.
Gotta have it. And that's the only place I'll do milk duds.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you put them inside the popcorn or you eat them separately?
See, I was going to say that. I've seen people do that, but I guess I'm a little...
Kind of melts the
I was
dud
just
a
going to
little
say, it melts a little bit.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
But that's me. Got to have the tub of
Yeah.
popcorn.
Popcorn, M&Ms, and an icy or a big Coke.
Do you
Icy.
bring a
Tapatio
floss
sauce.
with you to these movie theaters
No,
if you're having
I
popcorn and
should,
milk
though.
duds?
Great call. I should, though.
This guy's brushing his teeth in there.
Stop, man.
Washing
Travis,
his
stop,
face.
Travis.
That's all part of it, though, right? Yeah.
I got one from Christopher Holmes, and he asked,
So,
have
Holmes.
you ever seen a role in a movie that you thought you would be great at? So a
Oh.
role that already exists that they wish to cast DeMarco in.
Can I say Jack Reacher? No. I love
An
that.
action hero?
An action hero. I always wanted to be like in those Bruce Lee movies, but I wanted to be the bad guy that had no dialogue. He just shows up and they have like the ominous music.
Just the music,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and like somebody gets
But
their
then
neck
there's like
broken.
a zoom in on you, and then
Yeah.
a zoom in on who's basically going to eventually probably whoop your ass because it's Bruce Lee.
Yeah, the smile goes from like
Yep.
a smile to a frown when I see that. I want to be that guy. Yeah.
Amazing.
Love that.
I like that. What do you got over there, Jorge?
From Chrissy, she says, what was your first cell phone and your first non-standard ringtone?
First non-standard ring. Oh God.
Or your first cell phone? Was it a Razor? Was it one of those?
I can't even
remember that.
remember.
Remember the
Oh,
Razor?
yeah.
Oh,
Do you
and then-
remember the ESPN phones?
No.
You don't remember the ESPN flip
What are you
phones?
talking about?
Yeah.
ESPN phone?
They had ESPN flip phones, and the
Yeah.
you remember those?
Yeah,
And
it
the
was a foray, financial foray for our parent company that was
Correct.
not really fruitful.
and the ringtone was dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun.
So
Okay, I remember everybody
yeah.
used to have that ringtone. Definitely that ringtone was popular.
I had that phone
Okay.
in my pocket, and I made the faux pas going on TV, and I was on Fox Television, and I had the ringer on. Right? And right as we went to break, my phone rang. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad right now. Right as we went to break, the phone rang. Like 2 seconds. And it was like my wife wanting nothing.
What's the worst place your phone has gone on? I have one that pops out right away. I was just starting to cover the Lakers. Luke was a coach, Luke Wallen, right?
Yeah.
And when you go to those practice scrums, literally, everybody, we got apps now. You could record everything on your phone. So you would have your phone up in front of the coach. This is like one of my first times that I'm there. My phone goes off right in the middle.
Oh.
And Luke looks directly down. He said something to the effect, I'm trying to think what he said. And you could tell this was like from him back as a player too. He said something to the effect like, you got to buy everybody this or lunch or whatever the case is.
that's
I'm
nice.
like, I don't know what is going on right now. Yeah, not exactly the most comfortable
Oh,
moment
my
right there.
God.
The worst.
You've talked to McVay before, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
we've had him
nice
on.
guy, great guy to talk to.
Yep.
Okay, have your cell phone ring while you're speaking to him.
Not good.
He will just stop
Do you guys have your
and
cell
stare a
phones
hole
on
in
ringer
you.
anymore? Because I never do.
I almost,
They only
I'm
vibrate.
probably 85% my phone is not
Vibrate?
on. it's vibrate, or sometimes, we're in here, so it's silent, and I forget halfway through the day. I'm like, oh, I got a couple missed calls and didn't even realize I got them.
If someone is going to call and it's very important, I'll keep the ringer on.
Yeah, like if you're expecting a call that's important, yes, then you do it. But I almost never have my ringer on these days.
Okay, I
just forget to turn it off.
Yeah.
Tell me, look, this is going to be a little bit tough for you. Or maybe there's a knee-jerk reaction, and you know exactly what the answer is.
You're having fun with this, aren't you? Yeah.
Josh Santa Maria says, which city has or had a stronger Rams fan base?
I knew you were going to do that.
St. Louis or L.A.?
Whenever he put the name first, like sent it in, I knew exactly where you were going.
But this is it's a very fair question.
No,
There's a lot of times that we talk, and Jorge knows this because he's a Niner fan.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be, okay, the Niners dominate at SoFi. But just take, like, as a whole here, one of the disadvantages LA has is there's a lot of things to do in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of people here in LA. So unless you're a Laker or a Dodger fan, it's really hard to dominate. Which one do you think's better?
It's okay. You're on point right there. You were making my point for me. I think it's easier to be the big fish in a very small pond in St. Louis. So when you're everybody's going to love you. It is really hard here to find your niche in Los Angeles.
Yeah, you got to be good for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time.
You just won a Super Bowl here, right?
Yep.
And you still go kind of back to the end of the line when the Lakers tip off or the Dodgers start playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. But I've never heard anything like SoFi when we beat his team in the NFC Championship game. It was
escalators.
It was loud.
Yeah, it was loud.
It was loud. It was loud. It was loud. It was as loud as anything I've ever heard in St. Louis.
Okay.
So
they've had a moment, but big picture, it's like you said,
it's just
big fish in a small pond.
It's just a different market. Yeah.
You guys have another one over there?
Let's see. Okay, this one's from Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo. He asks, is it harder to be friends with someone that claps when the plane lands or uses a fork and knife to eat pizza?
Oh, dude.
So who's the worst person?
Yeah, think about this. By the way,
don't tell me you eat pizza with a knife and fork.
No, I don't. But what if there's a person on the plane who was eating a slice of pizza with a knife and fork and clapped?
Yeah.
Okay, I clap when the plane lands.
You do not.
Every
clap.
Every time?
Well,
DeMarco,
just about every time.
Why?
Why are you clapping?
Because we're there. We made it. And we made it together. Okay, so I do.
You be friends with somebody because you understand them because you're also a plane.
And kind of like shout out to the captain, shout out to the pilots. Good job. No one ever says thank you to the pilots.
Do we clap at the end of our show because that's our job too?
Okay, when you walk off,
we're
listen.
Talking. They're landing planes.
That's your job.
When you're leaving the plane, you got to pass by the whole crew. Why not there? Just say, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I usually do.
The pilot is out as well, and you could do that. If you're in row 37, seat B, I don't think they're going to hear you going like this.
I mean, honestly, we should clap every time a Boeing plane lands these days.
Not more than three. Just, want to go pilot. We made it.
True.
Yeah. But if we go to eat pizza and you, like, cut pizza with a knife and a fork,
I don't even.
I'm out.
Okay, here's my problem with it. I don't even understand how that. What's the
like
purpose of doing that?
I think it's the grease factor. If you don't want to get grease on your hands and you're like wearing something nice or
if
whatever.
If it's a Chicago style pizza, cool. I get it.
Okay.
Like how else are you supposed to do it? You're not. Yeah, you're not carrying it. But if it's a just regular, let's say New York slice pizza, you're folding it anyway, so your hands are on the other side. It's not like it's even going to touch the crust.
But it is giving a funnel for grease. I do not eat with a knife and fork. I'm trying to argue on behalf of the knife and fork community. But there was a Bill de Blasio, I think, back in the day when he was the mayor. Or he's not the mayor anymore, of New York City. He cut the knife and fork.
Can you imagine
one time.
that in New York City?
He got roasted.
In New York City.
You would never get my vote, ever, ever. You could be right along everything I think, and you would never get my vote. Like a guy, if you cut a cheeseburger in half and then eat half,
okay,
we got problems.
What would be the biggest faux pas of a LA mayor food-wise?
Biggest faux pas, LA mayor.
Doesn't like Mexican food.
Yeah.
Or like just doesn't know how,
that's a problem.
Doesn't know how to eat something. Like doesn't know how to eat a taco.
Or is complaining about traffic. It's like, do you know what city you're in?
Doesn't know where to get a breakfast burrito from.
Or eats the breakfast burrito, or eats the burrito with a knife and fork.
Yeah, you can't do that either. You can't do that either.
Wait, the burger cut in half. If you cut, what's wrong?
Yeah, what's the problem with cutting a burger?
You can't cut a burger in half.
What if it comes already cut in half? Like the one
Who cuts a burger in half?
You go to
Many
a restaurant.
restaurants.
A lot of restaurants cut burgers
I have
in
never
half.
gone to a restaurant, ordered a burger, and I've ordered cheeseburgers everywhere that came out cut in half.
I think
would
you're
be
lying.
hot. Dead serious. I have never
A
seen.
lot of restaurants cut burgers
Yeah,
in
go to
half.
Chili's.
No. What are you
It
guys?
is cut in
8?
half.
What are you in the
What's wrong
third
with cutting
grade?
it in half? Okay, what's wrong
Are
with
you
cutting it in half?
serious?
What's wrong with it?
You pick the burger up with one hand and you eat it. You stuff it in your face. That's what.
Yeah, but
You
Does
can't tell
In-N-Out
me.
burger get cut in half?
Wait.
when you order it?
You can't
No.
tell me that a
Fat
pizza,
burger? No.
cutting a pizza with a knife and fork
Yeah.
is the equivalent of a burger cutting in half.
No.
That's two different worlds.
No, it's the same for me. I will get up and leave you. Like, leave you. We're not friends anymore. Done.
All right, I learned the only thing that I care about most of this entire 10 minutes of doing Ask DeMarco. You're a clapper at the end of a plane ride. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Do you clap at the end of your Uber ride?
No.
Got there safely.
No.
It's also dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
No,
Actually,
I
it's
do
more
not. I don't have an
dangerous
answer for that.
on the freeways than it is on a plane. All right, Dodgers start the season off 4-2, playing some good ball right now. I want to talk a little bit about the offense of the Dodgers and also talk about some of that starting pitching. Also, the unreliability of the relievers. I know it's early, but something to keep in mind. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show. DeMarco in the house. 710 ESPN. All right, Prize Picks. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million active members. How about this? You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks. All you got to do, by the way, is just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. It's really actually incredibly fun to play Prize Picks. You could do it right now for both men's and men's and women's college basketball, which we're going to get to in just a little bit as well. You guys know that I pick NBA. You guys know I love the NBA. So there's some games on tonight that do have a little bit of an effect on the Lakers. I'm talking about the Phoenix Suns. You can pick more or less than Kevin Durant taking on the Pelicans tonight, 24.5 points. Zion Williamson taking on the Phoenix Suns, more or less than 26.5 points. Just make your picks. Takes about 60 seconds to submit your entry. Download the app today. Use that code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. So take advantage of that code so you can take advantage of this special offer. That's code 710 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Most people don't think about a lawyer till the cuffs.
Men's tournament this weekend. Did you guys catch that
I
all?
did a little bit.
A little bit?
I caught a little bit. I caught the Duke NC State game yesterday because one of my friends went to Duke, and so I want to see her suffer. So it was really fun to see Duke get beaten by NC
the
State.
voice, the tone of your voice there was such like a calm.
Matter of fact.
Yeah, I just want to see her suffer. Like it did, just very smooth right there.
Yeah, I mean, the Duke fans have had so much success.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
and they're always so annoying. And so it was really fun to see her in her little Duke jersey get, her team beaten.
What did you say? What was the NC State story? Was it the NC State story?
So NC State, yes. So they were not supposed to be in the tournament at all, into the March Madness tournament. So They won the ACC tournament. Like barely, like they earned everything they got, but like
was that the only way they were getting in?
So
was to win the ACC tournament?
Yeah, the only way they were getting into the NCAA March Madness tournament was they had to win the ACC tournament. They were not going to be one of the at-large teams that gets into the tournament. So they beat Virginia in overtime, and Virginia missed a free throw. And if that Virginia player, if Isaiah McNeely makes that free throw, and he's an 86% free throw shooter, they would have won that game. But NC State wins the game, then they go on to beat, I believe, UNC and then Duke. And so their ride, it's honestly
that's incredible.
It's not unlike the Diamondbacks, where you start winning games and you actually get some momentum, and then you can kind of continue to knock off all these big teams. And so NC State's run to this point, I believe, to the Final Four is incredible. And then, they take down Duke. DJ Burns, our big fella, is doing a great job out there, bumping around. He got a shutout from Jokic last night, which is awesome. Because
same
Jokic is just
athletic capabilities.
Yeah. So NC State, if you have no dog in the fight, they are a good team to root for.
Weren't they an 11 seed?
Yeah, 11 seed. And they, like I was explaining earlier, it's the only reason they got
weren't even
into the
supposed to get
tournament
in.
was they had to win the ACC tournament.
But the last time an 11 seed made the Final Four was UCLA, right? I think
I don't know.
I think that
I know
was,
UCLA got to the Final Four
What was
off
college
of being a
Charleston
play-in game.
or I can't remember.
Crazy.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
it's insane, and it's the first time they've made the Final Four since Valvano.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
No
right.
way.
You had mentioned that a little bit earlier. So the only reason why I bring it up, and I don't know how closely you're following. I wasn't even following it. I was only following San Diego State. So it was like, all right, let's see how San Diego State does. They get into the Sweet 16. Connecticut wins by 180. So I'm out. Right. I have not really watched anything. The only thing I've been watching, and I know you wanted to hit on this. How good is the women's tournament?
Amazing. It's one, everybody.
Big one coming, right?
Today.
Today there are
actually
two
two big
ones
ones coming.
All right, so today we got Iowa LSU rematch of the national championship from last year
What's the girl
on
from,
ESPN.
What's the girl from LSU?
LSU Angel Reese.
That's the one. Oh my God.
Yeah, so-
Baller, and I like how
Hates
the
Caitlin Clark.
chippiness. Yeah, I love all that.
it. Yeah.
So Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, they quote unquote don't hate each other, but they've done each other's moves back to each other. Like they're between the lines, there are no friends, but outside the lines, they're friendly people. They
But this
respect
is
each
good.
other's game.
This is good. Like this is
good for competition.
It's good for just the publicity of the what's happening tonight. Like if you told me right now, name two players of the Final Four that we're about to have, this upcoming weekend, I wouldn't be able to. I don't know. And
Men's or women's?
Men's.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
who it is.
Yeah.
I can name 3 or 4 women's players that are still in the tournament. They got the Elite Eight
And
coming
the
up
coach,
here.
Kim Mulkey, another story, right?
There's another story right there.
Yep,
So there's
she's
a lot of stories going on.
Yeah,
that's
the
for
story.
sure. So
Wow.
it's the first game today. Again, doubleheader on ESPN. You can basically watch great women's basketball from 4 all the way to 8. So it's Iowa LSU first. Not Paige Beckers, but it's Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Kim Mulkey, and Iowa team on the way to greatness. And then 6 p.m. you got USC and UConn. So Southern Cal. You got Watkins, who's a freshman. She is lighting it up.
And you
She's
saw her
so
live,
great.
right?
I
About
saw
a
her
month ago
live.
or so.
I had never seen someone take over a game like she did, and they were playing Colorado, who is a really great team too. So they were not
Colorado
playing
got all
scrubs.
the way to. That was their last win from Iowa, right? Iowa beat Colorado. Yeah, I think so.
And then Paige Beckers was on the other side with Juju Watkins. So it's Juju Watkins versus
So
Paige
cool.
Beckers and Oriema versus Lindsey Gottlieb. It's like today is how 2-3 years ago we had all those blue bloods in the men's Final Four. So it was like Kansas, UNC, Duke, and someone else I can't remember the name of. And that was like everybody's watching this. This honestly could be like a magic bird, like ascendance of the women's basketball game. I know people have been watching the women's basketball game for years and years, and but the magic bird kind of launched a rivalry and launched people into the NBA on a different level than it was before.
Wow.
You need this.
Could be
That's a big ask.
the
though.
women's basketball team. People are excited, and it's not just kind of like a pity excitement.
You mean I will follow my excitement into the WNBA for
You
these?
may.
People could,
you may.
see
Listen,
this happening, and
somebody
then all
better
these girls
dunk.
going.
Well, no. Let me.
Come on, DeMarco.
DeMarco. Let me put it this way.
Look,
Caitlin Clark, who
is a baller.
Not just a baller, but she's box office, right? You got the big 3. You had Ice Cube basically offering her
$5 million.
$5 million come in. Okay, whether that happens or it doesn't, put that to the side. The point is that there's a lot of attention on her. Do you know who has the number 1 pick this upcoming year in the WNBA?
Who?
Do you know or no?
No, I do not.
I do.
know.
I do.
I would not have known that unless it was, and I think to the point that Emily's trying to make is, it's Indiana. Okay, Indiana has the number 1 pick. I think they already sold. I think they already sold out too, as far as like their season tickets go and everything. There's a lot of buzz behind it. If you could have such a face to these players in college and have the ability to follow them to the pros, that's what the NBA used to be, right? Like you used to be able to.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
you used to be able
I'm not gonna
to
get beat
know
up by
who these
Emily.
players
She's
are
waiting.
and then go from there.
She's waiting.
And I think
but I've seen this before.
Yeah,
I
sure.
have. Swoops, Staley,
Yes.
all these people. I mean, they were big-time college players.
Of course.
Made you watch the tournament. And then
Yeah.
It drops off.
you drop off. Yeah. So are these the 2 players that will make me watch or keep watching them? I don't know. We'll see.
I think that we hope. There's no idea what's going to happen in terms of like the excitement through it.
Yeah.
The reason we're so excited is because, again, we know these people. They've been playing on these teams for a long time because it's more.
You build
they get-
equity with them.
They can earn a lot more money playing in college than they can in the WNBA.
Yeah.
You can earn more money through the NIL. That's why they stay as long as they do than going to WNBA. And so it's just, I hope that there is more going. Maybe that's what I'm trying to project onto this.
Sure.
I want the women's game to be more exciting for people to watch.
But it's
it takes
a
time.
great story right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is. And, like we said, there's 2 games on ESPN a little bit later today, and I'll be watching both of them.
And not for nothing, South Carolina could go undefeated. So right now,
Unbelievable.
they have not lost a game in this season under Dawn Staley and that team, and they're already in the Final Four. They have a shot to get. I think they play NC State, if I'm not mistaken. Again, NC State having both men's and women's doing incredible right now, but you have some just amazing name brand coaches too.
Yeah,
Again,
big
we have
time.
Kim Mulkey, who whatever you think about her,
like her or not, she's well known.
She is well known. She has a winning pedigree, and she has honestly, it sells. If you like or you hate a coach, it sells. And
Were
I'm
you
not
a
going to go
Pat-
into that villain's story on LA Times because that's.
Were you a Pat Summitt fan?
Yeah. I
I wonder if she would have been as popular now with the internet the way it is.
Yeah.
and
It just
Twitter.
depends. And Pat and Kim were friends, and it was talked about in the Washington Post piece over the weekend about Kim. But again, it's just an interesting thing, and getting people to talk about the sport is the most important thing.
I think that was a funny thing. Somebody said, I loved Pat Summitt, but I hate Kim Mulkey. And I'm like, it's kind of the same. How do you like
I don't
one
know
and
the
hate the
details enough.
Yeah,
I
weird.
don't. I wouldn't be able to probably comment on that.
Kim's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people in terms of just if you want to make your opinion about her, make your opinion about her. The Washington Post article does go into her backstory and how she has treated her players and the varying ways people have perceived that. So
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Listen,
though.
for
she made it seem like it was going to be.
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
For better or worse, it's brought a lot of attention to women's college basketball right now.
No doubt.
And like I said, I think, and maybe it's false hope or maybe it's going to happen, Em, but I know your hope of can they take this excitement that's happening right now, the attention that's happening in women's college hoops, and can it translate to the WNBA?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The product needs to be good, and
And you're fair to say, I don't think it's going to.
okay,
I mean, that's okay
I know
to
there
make
are
that
people
argument as well.
That love Caitlin Clark, and there are people that hate her, but she's polarizing. I think Lisa Leslie was 10 times more polarizing than Caitlin Clark is right now. You know what I mean? So we've been through this before.
Could it just be that we are in an era where everything you say, everything you do, we spend so much time on our phones, social, this, all that. Could it just be as simple as that there is more attention to the sport also because there's just to consume all the different news and to consume the highlight. It's just different today, right?
Of course.
If you had, I don't know, you pick any player you want in the NBA or the NFL 25 years ago, the way the sport's covered today is a lot different than it was back then.
No doubt. You can't say, wow, Caitlin Clark is good until in the next breath somebody says, you should see Juju or somebody else.
Right.
Like you want to diminish what she does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why can't we just appreciate everybody?
But and again, this is great. And again, if you're looking for great basketball today, go watch these women on ESPN starting at 4 p.m. and then going right into the next game at 6 p.m. So you can just post up in a bar somewhere. I'm going to be there with my friends. My friends and I are all going to go, and I did a women's bracket, and we're all going to go watch together. So starting at 4 p.m. on ESPN.
Do you have, maybe for you it's like the NFL Network or it's NFL Radio or something like that. Do you still consume, is there anything you consume way too much of?
Football.
Okay, so
Period.
You're in the off season now. NFL.
What's that?
Okay, and then this is a perfect example. NFL Network, doesn't matter. You find yourself consuming it all the time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I have an issue going on with the NBA.
What, too much?
I have an issue.
Just give it up. Just give in.
This
is your life.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm driving up yesterday from San Diego back up to LA. Why am I listening to the Warriors Spurs game on radio?
Because it matters to you.
Followed by the Thunder and the Knicks game.
Okay, now that might be a little crazy.
No, Thunder, number one seed in the West.
Okay.
There's some
Thunder,
stories
Knicks,
there.
Okay.
There's a lot going on there. Okay, we got to toss some Dodgers when we come back. Dodgers are sitting at 4-2 on the season. Could have lost yesterday, didn't. Teoscar Hernandez hits a solo home run in the 8th. Muncy follows it up with a 2-run homer. They end up coming back from 4-0, and they win the game 5-4. I want to talk about the Dodgers starting pitching when we come back. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, DeMarco in the house, 710 ESPN. All right, conversations on air. Conversations off air. Sometimes
Plausible
those are
deniability.
good.
Yes.
The best conversation.
It's a good conversations. What's up, Berg? What's going on?
What's happened, Slee? With DeMarco?
What's
Always
happening?
love seeing you here.
Yes, man. Good to see you, bro.
I saw some videos of you at the Yachtley Crew concert.
Oh, yeah.
You were
Oh,
getting
yeah.
after
I
it,
got
buddy.
down. I got down at the Yachtley
There was
Crew
a
concert.
photo where he was like looking at the camera too, like
Yeah. Well, it was just a good shot of me like staring.
Okay,
right
can
at
you
it,
guys
yeah.
talk about your exchange? What happened? You were about to go. You
I
didn't
was-
go. That's the first person you texted.
He asked me, like, did I go? And I told him I had my get up, my
You're
rock
ready.
get up. I was ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
And then you texted right when they walked in the door. And what did I tell you?
You couldn't go.
Yes.
There were just some sicknesses happening
and
around you.
who's in that room over there right now?
Your daughter.
My daughter. Why? Because my wife is home and she's quarantined.
Ah.
See? Right. So, yes,
Yeah.
I wanted to go. I was excited to go, and I'm so mad I missed it. But
How
I'm
was
glad
it?
you had a good time.
I was excited for you to come and be a part of all it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
was a blast. Yachtley Crew really puts on a good concert, and just everybody that was there, Cappy and Morales and Mason and his partner Juan were all there. It was Rachel, Cappy's partner. Amazing.
Dang, I missed
just
it again.
so much
DeMarco.
fun. Everybody from the back, a bunch of people, Steffa and Sam Lloyd, there a ton of people.
I
It
want
was
to meet Rachel.
A lot of fun.
I keep hearing
She
good things about
is
Rachel.
A blast.
See?
You can't have a bad time around her.
Okay, all right. I want to see Cappy around Rachel.
Okay,
That's
do
what I wanna
this
see.
next time.
He's more subdued.
That's what I can't wait to bring him out of that. Yeah.
Next time you're filling in
Yeah.
for Sedano.
Yeah.
Okay? If that happens, whatever down the road, instead of just tell Cap you're going to come to his studio down in San Diego, and then you could go meet Rachel.
Rachel.
That's-
Why is it?
That's what they
That's
call
just
it.
that's what they do.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Rachel.
Okay.
Do that one more time, Slee. How do you?
Rachel.
I thought really you had a stutter just now. Like, oh, are
just-
you okay?
just couldn't get it out.
Are you okay?
Only on Rachel. Everything else, I don't stutter.
Cappy.
You had me. Wow.
All right, were
okay.
you surprised over the weekend? I'm just kind of go through.
Surprised in what sense?
Let me go through the starting pitching for the Dodgers, okay?
It was all great. Stone had some iffiness, but everybody
Okay,
else
so
was
Glass now, and I know that was basically the second opening day.
great. Yeah, great.
6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run.
Yeah, fantastic.
Bobby Miller, 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 11
11 Ks.
Ks.
He was fantastic.
fan?
Yeah.
Bro, that's a stupid stat line for
Wow.
a starting pitcher, and especially a guy that you're basically saying, hey, can you come in here and just be the third best pitcher on this team before Bueller,
He's 2 now.
He's 2, but you know what I'm saying, that Yamamoto is, you're hoping that Yamamoto
Yes.
becomes the Yamamoto. Okay, but
Yes.
this is probably the more important one of anybody. Yamamoto goes 5 innings, kind of a weird day. You know, it starts
he came
with
back
rain.
out,
and
which was interesting. I didn't think
I
they were going
agree.
to bring him back out, but
how
I'm
long?
glad.
How long was it? Was it like 45 minutes, or was
wasn't
it
that long? I mean, it's California. It's L.A. You're not going to be on a rain delay for too long.
Okay, so Yamamoto 5 innings, 2 hits, 5 Ks. Talked about how
great.
he just kind of felt like it was nerves more than anything that has been affecting him so far. He says you hate to admit it or say it, but I think it was more nerves than anything. And that's one of the Dodgers' assistant pitching coaches talking about Yamamoto.
So
what'd you make of the starting pitching?
So Yamamoto, that's the thing where he's gonna have he's gonna be up and down for the first 2 months of the season. I mean, he's still young. He's 25. He still hasn't really pitched in the major league. So
he just got here.
He just got here,
And you're playing the best players in the world. It's
Absolutely.
going to take a second.
Yeah,
How is it not?
So he's gonna have moments when it's gonna look like he did in Seoul, and he's gonna have good moments when he looks like he did on Saturday versus the Cardinals. It's gonna go up and down, back and forth for a little while, but I truly trust that he's going to figure it all out. And if he does, hopefully it's more towards the ones on Saturday than it was in Seoul. But for the most part, he's going to be fine as it goes along. He had a lot of swing and miss stuff. I think that's a huge part of it. His curveball looked strong. His splitter looked really, really good, and that's an out pitch for him. So yeah, I thought he looked really good. And against guys like Goldschmidt and Arenado, that doesn't happen all the time. So really good outing for him.
DeMarco, you got a dude, and we'll use Yamamoto as an example, but it's almost, you call him a rookie is I think what you should call him. Now, I understand he's playing in an unbelievable league in Japan.
Hell of
but
a rookie, yeah.
A rookie that's going to get $325 million over 12 years.
I mean, yeah.
But how long? Just, you got athletes that are playing their first, second game, and, you can almost kind of look at when you walk into the NFL, it's like, all right, it's going to take some time to get adjusted to the speed. It's going to get adjusted to so many different factors that come into play. Is that, you feel like that's kind of like, that's a real thing that's going to take?
For him, it'll be far less painful than it was for me. Like, I had to learn the hard way. Oh, this is the NFL. Oh, you guys don't call that at this level, even though you're looking at it? So I get it. It's going to take a minute for him and you have to give him time to be awestruck. You are in the majors.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But once he settles in, the stuff is still going to be the stuff. And you see some of that stuff in the way he's pitching right now, right?
Yeah, the way he's pitching.
And he's got no choice. Like what you just said about his stuff's got to be. He's got to be great. Like you just literally, you committed so many years and so much money, and they're not the only team. There were 10 other teams lined up. If you're not going to give him that money, we'll give him that money. So obviously he's supposed to be good. This is what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's a swing and miss. It's when you're getting squared up consistently like he did in Seoul, you're going to have a problem. And that's how it kind of looked in spring training too. He just kept giving up hit after hit after hit. Now it's usually not hard hits. He's not giving up home runs. He gives up a lot of singles, maybe a double every once in a while, but it's a lot of singles, a lot on the ground. So if he can get more of that swing and miss that we saw on Saturday, he's going to be just fine.
What's your biggest, and you can't because they're only 6 games in, but they're 4-2.
Yeah.
Just what you've seen over 6 games. Hey, I'm a little worried about that. Or, hey, this would be nice if they could correct this. Again, only 6 games in, but what do you make of basically 1 week of baseball?
So I think there's so much stuff that's going on. It's all going to change. But I know Emily's going to get on me for like, oh, that's the problem that you're having here. I
want the world. Yeah, come on, Ohtani.
Well, this is our comp. Our comp is this. Greg basically lives in a mansion. There's 8 bedrooms. There's 11 bathrooms, and it's perfect. But the guest house needs new tile, and he's only complaining about the tile.
Oh, okay.
That's the Dodgers.
That's champagne problems.
Yes, exactly.
I got you. Yeah,
exactly. So I think middle relief is a little bit of a issue right now. So there's 2 guys that really had a problem. It was Joe Kelly on Saturday.
Yeah, Joe Kelly
and he just got lit up. He just get hit after hit after hit. And I think
I will not tolerate any Joe Kelly slander.
No. This is.
I love Joe Kelly.
If you let me finish, I'll get to it. He's going to be fine.
Okay.
And Coach Dave Roberts, manager Dave Roberts was just kind of letting him sit there and be like, okay, come on, figure it out. Let him go, and that was fine.
Yeah.
Alex Vesia, I think, is an absolute problem.
Well, Vesia was a problem last year, too.
Yeah, he's an absolute problem, and I don't think he's going to be on the roster much longer if he keeps looking like he did. It was walks. He hit guys. There was a ton of problems. He didn't really get too many hits off him. It was all walks and hitting batters, and then catcher interference, which was really weird. 2 catcher interference in 2 days.
Yeah.
But so that's, I think, a problem. I don't have a... James Outman is starting off very slow, and I think that's something where he'll pick it back up, but he needs to kind of figure out his offensive abilities because he's been fine on the defensive side.
I still say bad name for a baseball player.
I think that's coming out more often now.
Yeah,
People are starting to look at it just like you.
Another Outman.
Just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, having it Outman, I think you're right.
If he would have made that catch, though, right?
If he'd have made that catch, Game 1 or Kershaw. Yeah.
Aren't you worried about hot starts, though? In baseball,
depends on who
coming out of the gate hot. Yeah.
Okay, not by the team, by a certain
by
player.
certain people. Hot starts. Okay,
like Mookie's very hot right now, but he's also
he's
Mookie.
But
he's
you trust that. You trust that. Yeah.
So if James Outman came out and he was batting .450,
actually last year the way Outman started, right when he started out really well.
I thought it has to be the opposite for him. This is the sophomore year, the sophomore slump. I'm sure you know all about it. That's something that I'm a little bit worried about for him, and I was kind of worried about it for Bobby Miller too, but he came out strong on Friday.
Why did Ohtani choke in the most important moment of the season so far this year on Saturday?
He did choke on it because Ipe told him to.
Ipe told him to. Wow.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I'm not worried about Shohei at all.
Yeah, you have not gone to
not in the slightest.
You have not gone to a game yet, right?
No, I want to go this week.
I was going to say, are you going? I
want to go this week.
This has got to be.
Want to go?
This has got to be.
Come on, I'm down. Let's go.
You want to go?
Think about it.
I told you I have to take my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You hear that? See?
Bring her.
Are you sure?
I don't care. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
No, this has got to be. I mean, if you have not, I know the season just started, but isn't every single Dodger fan saying to themselves, "Yeah, I got to get out to a game," right? Like, just that lineup is so stupid. The fact that Shohei is rocking Dodger blue, like that's. I was looking yesterday, and game was on ESPN. There were a lot of seats that were available up on top. right? But
those probably still cost like $200.
But instantly, I'm saying in my head, I'm like, yeah, how are these games? I mean, it's Shohei's there.
Yeah.
It's Mookie, Shohei, and Freddie. And oh, by the way, who could it be on the mound? It could be Glasnow, Yamamoto, or Bobby Miller, whatever.
Gavin
it is.
Stone. It doesn't matter. No matter what, they're going to sell. And also, by the way, if you want a seat low, they're going to make all their money on those seats that are right on the baselines.
You don't have to have that in baseball. Baseball, I'm
making
good.
money?
You don't.
No, I'm saying I don't have to have a
seat.
seat. I don't have to have a seat.
Thousands.
For baseball, I know I'm just going, chilling, having a beer, some peanuts, a dog. I don't really care what my seat is. I'm okay with that.
Best seat I ever had was third baseline, dugout. You could see the players walking in and out, and you can kind of have these little combos.
It's great.
That's
great
where
spot.
I want to be. Yeah.
They toss you a ball.
No, never tossed me a ball though.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Why'd you say, "Hey, toss me a ball"?
I think I was in college when it happened. Yeah, they're not gonna toss a ball.
He
to
was
a college
playing.
kid.
He was playing calm, cool, and collective. He's like, I didn't want it.
Yeah.
But if I get it, I want it.
Did you guys see that they have some more Japanese food at the ballparks? They got sushi.
Are they really?
They have katsuya sandwiches.
Yeah. Smart.
It looks, and I mean they're all expensive. It's like $30 for a large assorted sushi platter. But
smart.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Well,
they also have like Yokohama tires on there, and Daiso is blasted all around
Might
the place.
as well. Yeah.
When I was at the Tokyo Dome back in September, they had a Taco Bell there.
In the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah,
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell. Who doesn't? That's why I was going. I was going
For
for
the Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forget the baseball part.
Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Are you Factor Cap or you're out
No,
of
I
here?
have
You
a
gotta
meeting
go?
here
Okay.
in 30 seconds. So, see you, boys.
All right, now.
Factor Cap coming up next. Stay right here. Chaps and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN.
Cap.
Hey guys, No More Aloha is over a week since
Aloha.
I've been back from Hawaii. So no more Aloha. It's going to be, hey guys, from here on out. So I came across this a couple of months ago, but this girl posts her dad's very sweet rundown of his meeting with his friends. So this dad has a weekly meeting with his friends, and they talk about everything. But the dad has an agenda set, and he sends it out to his buddies before the meeting. And basically they hang out and they talk about these subjects in case they run out of things. They have things to talk about. So on the agenda for this guy and his buddies is for March 29th, 2024 was Brewers injuries, Ohtani, the Marquette Warriors, NIL transfer portal and long-term ramifications, favorite April Fool's prank. Do Easter bunnies really lay eggs? Things like this, just things that these guys can talk about. Just if you're with your buddies, you got to have something to talk about. So this is a solid move from the dad. Not weird at all. Al, Fetch, or Cap?
Cap, a little weird.
A little weird.
Yeah.
A little strange. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. If I'm at work, I like to have an agenda of what we're trying to do and where are we going from here. You kind of try to have a map.
No, we have free-flowing, non-structured conversations all the time on the air.
But it also just kind of gets to free-flowing conversations on the air, right? And that's usually the best. It's organic. We didn't see it was coming, and all of a sudden it becomes a conversation. If I'm with my buddies or friends, the last thing I'm trying to have is an agenda. Now, if you said, hey, you're going on a guy's trip, and the agenda is we're going to go to this place, and then we're going to go to that place, and then whatever happens in between.
Like a bit of an itinerary.
A bit of an itinerary. That's different. But an actual topic creation of what we're going to talk about, I'm good on that. You can, DeMarco, you feel free to do that.
That's kind of gangster though. They have
you're digging it.
An agenda. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I may have to adopt that. That's pretty cool to
one
write
of them,
it down.
Travis would love one of the bullet points is to be friends with neighbors or just live next to them.
See?
See? A topic of conversation.
That's a great conversation. You might forget that, especially if you hang out with your boys. Yeah. I may go fact on that. I like that. Yeah. I did have
What would your friends think?
This is weird. I had a conversation with my best friend from college.
Okay.
We've been friends forever, but he's got kids that are like grown girls, 16, 15. So when we get together, we talk like we usually talk. And I realized that he doesn't talk like that around them most of the time. So their eyes are all big and wide like, I didn't know Dad could talk like that. Yeah, that's your father. You don't know about your dad? Let me tell you about your dad a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wants that conversation to be a little bit different.
A little bit, yeah.
He puts them in a Word document and he prints it out and he hands it out to his buddies too, which is great. I love that. They're like, okay, can we address bullet point number 3 here, this next one? Jorge, what do you think about this guy?
Cap, man. You're supposed to hang out.
Supposed to hang out.
We're not planning a meeting here. Just like you said, bullet point number 3.
This isn't a board meeting here. You can't. They're like
Easter egg. Come on.
They're in the middle of a good conversation, and then he's like, "All right, guys, just to let you know, in 10 minutes we're changing topics."
Don't you hate when you're going home? Dang, I wish I would have said that back then with them. You might forget. I'm with you. See, fact for me.
On that topic, do Easter bunnies, does the Easter bunny lay eggs, or does it just find eggs and then hide eggs?
First and foremost, I've never understood the bunny part of the whole holiday or celebration.
Yeah.
I've never understood the bunny part. Why?
Well, bunnies come out at spring, and the Easter bunny is just connected to spring.
But why an egg? And then they tell you the peeps or chicks, whatever they
are.
And then the bunny and the peeps, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know about all that either.
Universally loved, I guess, easy to sell.
I think the Easter bunny doesn't lay the eggs. I think it finds the eggs
them and hides them.
relays them and hides them from people.
See, you need to write this down. Ask your friends.
And I'm going to bring that up
see?
when I have a conversation on Tuesday night with a friend at 8.
Like when you're hanging out with your boys, each of you went through something that day or that weekend, right? Like that's what you talk about. It's not like, oh, here, let's talk about the Easter bunny and why he shouldn't.
I don't want to hear your problems. I want to hear about the Easter bunny.
I like the agenda.
So our big guy, DJ Burns, who plays number 30 for NC State men's team, took down Duke, and he, has been talking his ish all tournament, especially to the Duke players. He was facing them at the foul at the very end of the game with Duke, and he says, "Your season's over, you're done." And he did like a slit throat motion, like he's talking his ish. Love it. But some little rumors from the NFL have said that they have been trying to give offers to DJ Burns to potentially become an NFL football player. So you want to see big boy DJ Burns play in the NFL. DeMarco, Fetch, or Cap?
Fact. I'd like to see him get a shot. I love big, aggressive basketball players that probably don't have an NBA career, Do you think he has an NBA future?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
6'9". How much does he weigh?
It says 275. He ain't 275.
I think he's probably 3+.
Yeah, I think
plus?
he's 3+. He has to be.
And he's playing what position?
Center for NC State.
There's no future there.
He's shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean that is perfect for the NFL. Absolutely, give that kid a shot. Fact.
I think fact more just to kind of watch how that would work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, I have no idea. You don't want him to get to the NFL and he's not effective at all. And but I think it's kind of a fascinating story. We're watching this dude make a run with a school right now, like you said, talking his you know what in the process. You mentioned it. We're doing the prep. It's not uncommon to see really good basketball players play in the NFL.
Or decent basketball players that become great football players. It's
a lot
not
of tight
going to work
ends
there.
end up like that.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez killed us with basketball moves. Your boy,
Antonio Gates.
Basketball
Who was
player.
it? Wasn't at one point? Wasn't Julius Peppers playing?
Could play anything
For North Carolina in football and basketball.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. You love it. I
Travis
mean,
Kelce was a basketball player too.
anybody that's graceful enough to play that game, but that can be physical enough to play football too. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what's kind of cool? It's random, but it's Tony Gwynn was one of the best basketball players at San Diego State University.
That's unbelievable.
And there's it's just kind of weird to see, but there's highlights of here's Tony Gwynn, point guard, dishing dimes, getting to the basket. I'm like, that's Tony Gwynn.
Right.
You got to, and obviously known for his Hall of Fame career in baseball.
Jorge, what do you think?
I haven't seen this guy play, but you guys sold me on him. Like he could make it to the NFL, or they should really see what he's like.
Yeah.
But also, like, who's that quarterback? Is it the one from Arizona who used to play baseball and then opted in?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, baseball.
And
Yeah.
He decided to play football instead. So yeah, I mean, interesting story.
Yeah, there are sports that lend itself to being have the same skill set that work well in both. So like tight ends and basketball.
LeBron was on the bench for the Rams when they were still at the Coliseum, and I asked the GM and part of the ownership because Stan Kroenke was coming down. I said, "Are you going to ask him?" I said, "You kind of have to see if he's interested in playing football." Can you imagine that at tight end?
Who was it?
Exactly.
Who was it that recently said? I can't remember off the top of my head. Somebody was saying
Charles Barkley was talking about.
Was
how
it Barkley?
NBA players thinking that they could always be NFL.
And
players.
I think he was talking about LeBron, and everybody else was like, "No, I could see LeBron. If LeBron coming out of high school decided I want to play in the NFL." I'm pretty sure LeBron could have played in the NFL.
You would have to commit yourself. He did play at his
high school. Yeah.
But you'd have to commit to one or the other. You can't do both forever. All right, so next one. So Larry David was at the UConn game where UConn smashed Illinois in Boston, and they've been smashing everybody this entire tournament. Like they're on the road to having a historic run through both of their national championship runs. But if they end up winning this one. But Larry David, stretched out his legs over top of the divider. He got on the Jumbotron, and he was like, why am I on the Jumbotron? I should be on the Jumbotron. Why does anyone care? And people were lining up to take pictures with him. He was full Larry David mode, full Curb Your Enthusiasm mode. So, of all the celebrities that are not athletes that you could sit next to at a basketball game, you would want to sit next to Larry David. All right? Jorge, fact or cap?
Cap. I've never seen an episode of it. I hear about this guy through Mason and Ireland, through you guys, stuff like this. But this reminds me of a video that I saw. There's a guy sitting next to Drake, right? Drake's on the Jumbotron.
Oh, I saw this.
And then the guy's like, hey, man, you're famous.
Right.
And then Drake's like,
guy had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Drake was probably so excited to talk to somebody who had no idea who he was.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the guy's like, hey, man, are you famous? And Drake's like, sure. Whatever.
Yeah, no way.
I sing a little.
Cap for me with Larry David.
All right, Al.
All right, man, this is a tough one because I'm a fan of Curb. I'm a fan of Seinfeld, so I know Larry David is just an OG. You can't get any more. I can't respect anybody as much from what he does in his industry. But I don't think it's him. I think if I could sit next to anybody, I like to sit next to a comedian. I think of that famous clip.
Larry David's a comedian.
I know, but I'm saying that I like the idea of sitting next to a comedian. But I think of that famous clip of Chris Rock trying to talk to Kobe.
So funny.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
So funny. Yes.
Like just being kind of near that.
Yeah.
And having no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. One of my favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle, back in the day, right? Like, I think I'd lean towards somebody else, but if I'm sitting next to Larry David, that's amazing.
Wow.
DeMarco, what do you think?
I'm thinking of that clip. I mean,
bro, it's one of the funny. Every time on social, for those who don't know, but it's Chris Rock. Basically, Kobe is as focused in the game as possible. Chris Rock, I still don't know what the hell he was saying to him.
He couldn't make him break character. I mean, really, Kobe was too strong for even Chris Rock. I gotta say, Cap. I mean, I love Curb. I love Seinfeld. The few shows I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but isn't part of Larry David's charm is like he gets under your skin and drives
He's a curmudgeon.
Yes,
you get under his skin. I don't know if he gets under your skin.
That's the last guy I want to spend like 4 quarters with.
Because he's going to complain about everything?
Everything.
It's so funny.
Thank
complaining.
you. No. Yeah. So I did Cap, definitely.
All right. So it's funny because Michael actually brought this up on his Twitter talking about Juju Watkins, but also a famous USC athlete was Juju Smith-Schuster. And he was like, oh, what if they dated? But it got me thinking. So I was like, that's so weird, Michael.
Okay, wait. Michael.
How would they do their monogram towels is basically what he said. I was like, okay, Michael.
What did Michael say about a podcast? I can't remember. It was like Kevin Hart, or no, I'm not Josh Hart, and it was, or no. It was Jalen Hurts. Who's Love? Give me another Love in the NFL.
Jordan Love.
It was Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Love Hurts.
And he's like, they should do a podcast together called Love Hurts.
Yep.
The guy, he's got things in his head that are just
Michael.
Yes. Yeah. But it got me thinking. Okay, so there are very common male-female names. So like Alex, Taylor, Jordan can be both a man or a woman have these same names. Okay, so put yourself in the consider all your guys' names are Alex. Okay. You could date a girl with the name Alex. All right, Alan, fact or cap?
So I'm Alex, she's Alex?
Yes.
Ooh.
Really?
And she doesn't go by something else. She always goes by Alex, and you also don't go by anything else. You always go by Alex.
Fact. That ain't gonna stop me. Are you kidding me?
The way you said that was clear.
Hey.
Come
It'd
on.
be a little weird. I think I look, the world's not going to end, but
Yeah.
just for the sake of us playing this game, and I already know you're going fact.
Yeah.
I think I'll go cap on this one.
Oh.
It's a little weird. Alex and Alex?
See, Jorge, I love recovering fumbles. That's a fumble. Right there. Oh, thank you.
That's a good line.
DeMarco's like, all the Alexes.
Oh, my God. Come on.
Jorge, what do you think?
I think it'll be weird, but there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I have a buddy of mine whose name is Samuel, and his girlfriend is or girl
Samantha.
he dated is Samantha, and they go both by Sam.
Sam and Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nothing
that's
wrong
cool.
with it.
Yeah, so do you guys know who Taylor Lautner is?
Yeah.
So
The
former
Wolf.
Twilight
Yeah.
Wolf, yeah. So he at one point in time dated Taylor Swift, so they're both Taylors. But then he also ended up marrying a girl named Taylor. So both of their names are Taylor Lautner.
Wow.
Is that interesting?
That's funny.
pretty cool.
That's funny.
DeMarco was all in. He's like,
Yeah.
you don't want the Alex?
That's not
Give me
going to
that
be a
Alex.
deal breaker for me. Come on.
Give me that
Yeah.
Alex right there. Okay. Rams, could they take a quarterback in the first round? They have the number 19 pick. A, can they do it? B, would they do it? And C, would it be smart for them to do it? Plus, the over-under on the Rams coming into the season. DeMarco, I want to get your thoughts if you think it's too high or too low. We'll do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN.
N.
All right, so DeMarco and I were just talking about some fast food. He said he's never had a Jack in the Box taco.
Not one.
I don't know if... I think he'll be okay. I don't think here
you're
in SoCal.
Yeah, you're good.
I think you'll be all right.
Spicy chicken sandwich at Jack in the Box. That was my thing. Yeah.
Jumbo Jack.
Jumbo Jack? Okay.
Jumbo
What's
Jack
so
with
funny,
cheese.
my
Yeah,
sister
Jumbo Jack
pulled
with
this
cheese. Yeah.
when we were in Hawaii. So we were going out in Waikiki, and then we took a bus back, a party bus back or whatever. She DoorDashed herself Jack in the Box, and at the line, they can drop it off right at your door. So she had Jack in the Box waiting for her as she came back. And this is the first time having Jack in the Box. I swear to God, she ordered 12 tacos and like 2 burgers. And I was like, Claire, I didn't want Jack in the Box. She's like, I didn't ask.
Okay,
She DoorDashed fast food.
Yes.
I
But
like
like
it.
to meet her at her door
That is
as she was
dope.
getting her ride back from
That's
Waikiki.
timing right
gangster.
there.
It was great.
We
It
used to
was very
always
good.
have, I've told this to Trav before, Jumbo Jack used to be 99 cents. 2 tacos
Yeah.
were 99 cents.
Yeah.
So I was spending like $2.13, and I was just like unwrapping everything like it was like a unbelievable meal. Yeah, like it was a feast.
Big time.
$2.
What's the Jumbo Jack now?
Actually, I don't know. I have no
$5
idea.
Like
maybe?
maybe what, 159?
159?
Probably didn't go up
It's
that
probably
high.
still on like the $1-ish menu.
Yeah.
Same for the dollar menu at like McDonald's is always like, it's like $1.50 now
Yeah.
instead of being 99 cents.
Okay, let me play some here for you. Mike Tenenbaum was talking about the Rams and their number 19 pick. He's talking about a specific quarterback. Just take a listen here. Potential draft. Here's what they should do with it. DeMarco, I want to get your thoughts on this.
I had him going 19 to the Rams, and here's why, guys. If I'm the Rams and I can get somebody like Michael Penix with his upside, think about when Aaron Rodgers was at the Packers, Jordan Love gets drafted, how'd that turn out? You think about Joe Flacco's with the Ravens. They trade up for Lamar Jackson, how'd that turn out? So to me, Matt Stafford's much closer to the end of his career than the beginning. And if you could get somebody like Michael Penix and let him sit for a year or two, like what an unbelievable way for the Rams to secure continuity at a high level at the quarterback position. And if he was healthy, he'd be a top 5 pick. I think he's a perfect fit in Sean McVay's offense. And that was before the pro day. I think he did an outstanding job yesterday in Seattle. So to me, I'd be floored if he wasn't a first-round pick.
DeMarco, what do you think?
I agree with everything he said there. I really do. He is definitely right. That is old school traditional thinking.
What part of it is the old school traditional? Drafting a quarterback, letting him sit?
letting him sit behind Matthew Stafford, learn, and then when Matthew Stafford decides to retire, your future is there, and he's got reps. Think of Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Think of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
I think San Diego was Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers.
And he even mentioned it, Lamar Jackson with the Ravens. It was 1 year, but he did get some time to learn.
That is the smart, safe way to go. Now here's the issue. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about this season coming up.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, Michael Penix cannot rush the passer for you. Michael Penix cannot help you. Matthew Stafford will be the starter. So it's almost a waste of a pick for 2024.
Did Aaron Donald change that? If Aaron Donald was still on the team, would this be a better choice to get Michael Penix?
You still need some outside pass rush.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, look, it's a problem for the Rams. I mean, you really do. That's a big hole. You don't have the future in your locker room. Matthew Stafford is your present, and your future you're still working on. So that is an issue. But I think there's ways to get around that. What you need right now is somebody that can get after the passer. Really. Now that Aaron is retired, even with Aaron in uniform and on the roster, you need somebody that can get after the passer. You did not have that. So now that he's retired, the importance on pass rush just increased tenfold. You've got to correct that.
Here's I think always the dilemma in the NFL with some of these teams, and I wish there was a little bit more of an old school mentality when it came to, look, let's draft a quarterback, but can we give him a second? Can the pressure? It's like, we just drafted this quarterback. We use a high draft pick for it. Here are the keys. Save us.
Right.
Okay. Well, like you said, the approach before used to be, give this guy a year, maybe even give him 2 years, and then when the timing is right, then he could kind of step in, and hopefully you got a quarterback that's ready to go. He's got the confidence level in there, sustainable, and you go from there. The problem, I'll use the Rams in their spot. You are trying to win right now. You are coming off a year where you make it to the playoffs when nobody thought you were going to. You
almost beat Detroit.
Take on a Lions
Yeah.
team, and you were in position to win that game. You could have won that game. Okay, give Detroit credit. They were great all season. They end up having a chance to beat San Francisco. They didn't do it. That balance of, well, we're trying to win now versus let's get a quarterback and wait till Matthew Stafford is done. Well, okay, you still got to address other needs today. I just don't think they have the luxury of doing that. Now, if you were saying that draft pick was further down, if you said you used a 4th or a 5th rounder and you thought you got a quarterback that you didn't know was going to fall that far and you thought, hey, this could be a guy in a couple years, maybe that's a different conversation.
But a quarterback in the 4th round is not going to be your future, likely.
Well, again, it's a quarterback that...
Now, this is where I bring up Tom Brady.
A quarterback that
sure,
fell...
Tom Brady and Brock Purdy out of
I know.
years and years.
So when we talk about the importance of running backs, and I say they're super important, you should pay them, everybody brings up Pacheco in Kansas City because you don't need them. You know what I mean? So it was a joke, but go ahead.
No,
yeah.
all I'm saying is at the end of the day is they are going to try to address what they need today. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going to use that. Do you think they're going to use that number 19 pick?
Look, I don't know
on a quarterback?
Where they're going. I don't know if they're going to stay at 19, but I mean, I do know what might be staring at you depending on if the draft goes the way it's supposed to go, like as in Caleb Williams goes first. Is everybody in on that with Caleb Williams going to Chicago at 1?
Yeah.
I'm assuming so just because I feel like everybody's telling us he's going to go number 1.
Go 1?
Who knows? I mean, It seems like people are in or out on Caleb Williams. And where's Marvin Harrison going? We don't know. So
they don't have a quarterback right now with the Chicago because they traded Justin Fields.
I
so
think
they
it's
need a quarterback.
completely
You have to.
opened up the door for that, right?
So if everything goes the way it should, the guy that will be staring at you at number 19 is Latu from UCLA.
Right.
And that is I don't care what other quarterback is on the board. You take that guy. That's basically like a Junior Seau Jr. coming to your football team. And you don't have Aaron anymore.
And a need.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, a backup quarterback that's going to sit and learn versus a guy you can put on the field right now. You take the guy that can help you right now. You would think if you're Les Snead and Sean McVay.
Did you see the over-under for the Rams this upcoming year is 8.5?
I did see that.
What do you think? What do you think of that?
I thought it was
sounds low?
Maybe a little bit low, but fair.
Okay, 8.5 sounds low. 9.5 sounds you wouldn't go any higher than that. So this is what they do, right? This is why they're so good.
I would have said
predicting.
9.5 and 8.5 sounds about right. I mean, most people are I think they're more down on Stafford than I am because
they're more what?
Down on Matthew Stafford because of his age.
Right.
They think this could be the year he gets beat up and he's out again.
Well, we already had that year with the 5-12 year. He got beat up that year, and you know, we saw what happened.
See, that's the proximity for me, like talking to the guy, like looking in his eyes. He's not done. He's not done, and he wants to win right now. That's what I'm saying. In Green Bay, when they drafted Jordan Love, that's what started this whole thing with Aaron Rodgers. He was like, why are you drafting the future? Draft somebody to block or draft somebody to catch. You know what I mean? Or that can rush the passer. Why draft a guy that's not going to help us this year? So I think that's where you're at with Stafford. Draft something that can help you now and worry about the future later.
I do think about sometimes that maybe, who knows, it's 2 years, 3 years down the line for Matthew Stafford that he chooses to retire. And who knows who shakes loose from other teams,
Correct.
Maybe someone else is unhappy with the situation with the routine. And then the Rams, they love to spend their money and their equity on a veteran as opposed to draft. And so maybe they go and do, maybe not exactly a Matthew Stafford deal like they did before, but they get someone else.
What was
the veteran.
The draft class that totally busted out? Was it 2020?
2020 is
Oh, my God. Somebody else I work with them said they would never draft a quarterback in the first round ever. Because
2021,
half of them bust out. And I'm like, you might be right about that.
Yeah, do you have to address that now? I mean, is that something that they have to address right now?
I mean, like what Tannenbaum said, old school thinking, yes. You've got an aging quarterback. You don't have the future. You got to draft one of those guys.
Yeah, but the scenario that you mentioned, if you can get help right now and you need it, then help yourself this upcoming year. By the way, just that 8.5.
Michael Penix ain't going to help you beat San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That's, not now. Maybe in the future, but you want to beat them now.
That over under the 8.5?
Yeah.
How much do you think that moved once Aaron Donald made a decision of, what do you think that number was 9.5 before? What do you think the number was before?
I'm sure it dropped. I'm sure it did. I mean, look, he was everybody's first thought. Even when the offense is flowing, the first thing you think about is, how are we going to stop Aaron?
Yep.
Well, now all that's gone.
All right, can the Lakers get out of the number 9 spot? Sitting at number 9 in the standings, but a couple things happened over the weekend that It's not unrealistic to see the Lake Show fall into that number 7 or number 8 spot. We'll do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN.
Move, do you think it's the right strategy?
No. Live from LA Live on 710 ESPN.
Play some Marley here. Have you seen the One Love movie? Yeah, good.
Solid.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Did you see One Love?
I haven't seen it yet. Dying to see it.
It's actually really good.
Okay.
It's a good movie, and I saw it. I think I want to say opening weekend it came out. How long ago did One Love come out? About a month ago? Something like that?
I think on Valentine's Day.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was on Valentine's Day. It's good. You'll like it.
Who's the actor that plays Bob?
Kinsley Benadir. He was also in Barbie, and he's also going to be the new Doctor Who, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
He's really good.
Up and comer. Okay.
He's really good in One Love.
Yeah, he was pretty funny in Barbie. Did you watch Barbie?
I did.
He was one of the Kens that was always around Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also performed at the Oscars.
I missed the Oscars this year. I don't know why. Yeah. Did you watch the Oscars?
No, I did not.
Did you used to watch the Oscars?
I did not.
Never. Oh. Really? Jorge?
Yeah,
Oscars?
Emily basically filled us. I felt like by the time I was done talking with Emily about the Oscars, I watched it.
I lost it for the Oscars. I don't know why.
Do you watch the movies that are nominated?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't watch it.
I don't know.
There's no big performer that is the host anymore. I mean, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And it's fine. The performance isn't the same way as it used to be, but yeah, I don't know why.
This should have been one of the ones
next year.
because Robert Downey Jr. won.
Yeah, he won for Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer.
He should get an award just for being alive.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
after what he went through. No doubt. Wow.
I know we hit on this a little bit earlier. I want to go back to it. You asked a question about expectations for the Lakers.
Yeah.
If the expectations have changed. Okay?
You answered it without knowing it, but you did. Yeah.
They have. They have. And to be honest with you, how could they not have? Starting since February 1st, I don't have the exact number, but the Lakers are around either 18-8, something like that since February 1st. Okay, give or take a game. They're 10 games over 500 over that stretch. They're 9 games over 500 on the season. They're playing better basketball, and some of it has to do with the competition.
Outscore you ball. Yeah.
Outscore you. The philosophy has changed as well.
Is that Darvin Ham? Is that normal Darvin Ham?
No, that's not at all.
This is different. Okay, he's adjusted. Okay.
Yeah, he's more of a defensive coach. I mean, last year, Lakers, when they made their run, it was more about primarily on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And that's changed completely. It has. And guys that go look at that starting lineup. D'Lo can drop 25 any night. Austin Reeves can give you 20 any night. Rui's going to give you 15 to 20. And I haven't mentioned Bron or Anthony Davis yet. So they've completely changed their philosophy as far as how they're going to win, and they're doing it offensively. My expectations have changed for the Lakers because there was a time that I thought, hey, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. If they were a number 10 seed, which is still not out of the picture.
Blow it up, right? Or close to blow it up. Kind of blow it up?
LeBron and AD were still going to be there.
Can you not say blow it up?
No, you can't. You can definitely say blow it up.
No, can you not say blow it up?
Well, I just don't think what your definition of blow it up is. If you got rid of a lot of the players around LeBron and Anthony Davis, did you really blow it up? Because your two still foundational pieces are still there.
Okay.
So I would not get rid of LeBron James and Anthony Davis or one of those two players. I would not do that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that defines blow it up.
It does. Yeah.
Okay.
Blow it up means everybody.
Okay, yeah. And I don't think that's going to happen, nor would I do that. Now, if they didn't make the playoffs, then that's probably a different conversation.
Yeah, I mean, Darvin's job has been, in conversation this whole year.
Basically the entire season, yeah.
No, most people had him fired. Yeah.
There was a time in January where it was like, I don't know if this guy's going to make it through the year.
Yeah,
That's realistic, but this is where they're sitting right now. And this is going to go back to the expectations question. You obviously got to get out of the play-in. But I think if you thought before, and they're still 2 games behind Phoenix, Sacramento just lost Malik Monk for 4 to 6 weeks.
Saw that.
Kevin Huerter's out for the season. They just lost a couple key role players. So I don't know what's going to happen to the Sacramento Kings. But moving up to 7 or 8 is not completely unrealistic at this point. The expectations of the Lakers are playing some of their best basketball at the right time of the year. If you're playing some of your best basketball in January, it's like, okay, cool, but it's January. If they're healthy in January, that's different than if you're healthy in April. Gabe Vincent just came back yesterday. Mm-hmm. Vando, we'll see what happens over the next week or so. We're running out of time, but we'll see what happens. It seems like that they're playing better basketball at the right time, and they're getting healthy at the right time. Well, don't you want to have that going into this playoffs and going into the play-in than, having that in January or February? Now, are they still vulnerable? Of course they are. Can they still lose to anybody? Absolutely they can. But if you'd have told me 2 months ago that they're 9 games over 500, I would have never believed that. What's crazy is if they were 9 games over 500 last year in the Western Conference, you'd be a number 4 seed.
Wow.
But look at the West right now. You got so many good teams, so many competitive teams. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 30 games over 500, the Thunder.
Crazy.
So my expectations have changed, but I think nobody's expecting them to beat Denver if they play in a 7-game set.
What are you expecting now? Like when they're playing their best all-out offensive basketball, what are your expectations?
Okay, well, what team out there other than Denver are you like, oh my gosh? I don't know if there is one in the West. They're all good teams.
This Sacramento thing keeps coming up. It seems like they just have your number.
Not worried about them anymore either. I
think
the Monk thing is a big deal.
Okay, so that's new. But if he was there, you'd worry about Sacramento.
Yeah,
okay.
I would.
That would be a matchup.
That's probably their third best team. That's their third best player. And Monk hurts the Lakers. He's a legitimate player. Monk's a good basketball player.
Yeah. So, okay. So your expectations are not just to limp into the postseason now. You're actually talking about there's a chance they could win
a round.
Advance in
Definitely
the
they can win a round. Here's the question is, it's going to come down to, did you have to play Denver or did you not? And I'm not telling you that that's a good game plan, but that's kind of everybody's game plan right now in the Western Conference. It's how long can you avoid Denver for?
If I could pick, I mean, I don't want to see Denver until the Western Conference Final, but
it's funny.
Yeah.
So that was a conversation that came up actually last week. It was Nick Wright, Fox Sports. That was a conversation that he came up with. Hey, I'd rather face Denver early than later. And his case was, you're going to have more rest in the beginning. You're fresher in the beginning.
That's a good point.
But I'm with you. I take my chances. The further I could wait for Denver, the further I'd rather.
Somebody
wait for
may
Denver.
knock them off for
you. Never
you.
know.
Yeah, that's what I hope. Yeah, the longer I can delay that, the better. I mean, if you face them in the first round, you're going home, and you know this. Yeah.
Now, listen, and part to do with what you were talking about with those expectations, and the expectation should always be for the Lakers, because this is what they've built for themselves, is, are you competing for an NBA championship?
That's the brand.
I don't think they are. You know, it's just they're not. I mean, if you think that they're going to go through the gauntlet of the West and then face Boston or one of those other teams, even with them playing better basketball right now, that's a very tough proposition. So I don't know if I'm lowering my bar or I'm just being realistic. Realistically, they're still number 9.
I think they are thinking championship.
Well, they have to.
They have to
because
way.
it's LeBron James, and that's probably the only way that dude is wired.
And that's what I'm getting to. Like, as a fan base, are you allowing yourself to believe you have a chance to win a championship? That's where I'm trying to go to. With this style of ball, with the way, with what you have seen out of the team and LeBron James at this point, are you allowing yourself to believe they can win a championship?
I don't think you could even give that thought, because you're number 9 in the Western Conference. If the playoffs started today, you want to know their path? So let's just play out what you just said.
Okay, go
They're
ahead.
number 9 in the West right now.
Yes.
Okay? That means they have to beat Golden State at home. Then they have to beat Sacramento or Phoenix on the road to just get in. Okay? You have to win 2 games in a row just to get in. Okay, let's say you did that. Now you're in.
Right.
All right, you're a number 8 seed. You get Oklahoma City in the first round. Okay? Then you beat the Oklahoma City Thunder with 30 games over 500. People could keep saying, oh, Lakers are 3-1 against them, which they are. I don't think OKC is going to be a walk in the park. I just don't. That's a young team who knows no better and who knows what they could do. And if you're 30 games over 500, you must be doing something right. 30 over 500 in the West.
Super athletic.
Okay? All right, so then you got to go through OKC, and then you got to play the winner of Clippers and Dallas.
Wow.
And then you got to play the winner of the Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then you got a team in the Eastern Conference waiting for you, probably Boston, who's 58-16 on the year, and they got an 11-game lead. So I don't even think it's realistic to even think of a championship. I think you literally are just saying, okay, 7 games left in the regular season. Where are they going to end up? All right, you're in the play-in. Are you an 8 or a 9? How do you get out? Okay, you got out.
Yeah.
Who do you got in the first round? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many steps to get there. I think the only teams that can realistically be talking about a championship are the Denver Nuggets, the Boston Celtics, maybe the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, there's only a handful of teams. After that, how can you possibly do that? I have a difficult time kind of letting that process.
That's got to be hard, right? When you're always competing for championships and you have to kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit.
I just think it's reality.
I think so. But, I mean, like any good drill instructor, with what you just laid out, what a wonderful opportunity for this basketball team. What if they do it? What would that do to your conversation of GOAT status between MJ and LeBron if he goes through all that and wins a championship with this group?
DeMarco, let's look at last year, where they were kind of in a similar position. They did end up in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Now, Denver swept them. But there was a little bit like, well, that came out of nowhere.
Right.
And Bron is always going to have it, I'm sure, in his mind that he's going to feel, I could beat anybody that's playing. Just give me a shot, give me an opportunity.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting how it plays out.
Interesting. It's been fun watching the opinion shift.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
They still got a long way to go. I think overreacting. I mean, they could lose in Washington on a second of a back-to-back not tomorrow, but the following day, and all of a sudden that conversation changes completely. Then it's like, hey, them and the Warriors are tied for 10th. I mean, that's how quick it could change because of how close all these other teams are. Did you see, I don't know if you saw this, but I thought it was kind of funny. Luka was talking trash during that Mavs-Kings game, and he was talking trash to a former Laker that was running the Sacramento Kings and didn't pick Luka. I'm curious to get your thoughts on, players out there that, like, how long do those last for, those, you didn't take me? Okay, cool. I got something for you. We'll do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN.
Here we go. Nice. Some Yachtley Crew. Them doing Steal Away. Oh, no, there's Ride Like to Win. Sorry. Man.
That's Yachtley Crew?
Killed it.
Travis and Sliwa Show. DeMarco sitting in for Trav.
Hey.
How was it?
Friday night at the Whiskey on Sunset. Let me tell you. So they sent a picture in the morning of the marquee.
Okay.
And I was getting pumped.
Okay.
But driving, I wasn't driving, but I was in an Uber.
Do you know this? Do you know what's going on with his driving?
We don't need
thing?
to get into that.
No.
Anyway, coming down Sunset on a Friday night. And Sunset, it's not popping like it was in 1985, but it's popping.
Yeah.
And you go by the Roxy, and then we stop at the light, and you look at the marquee right there, and it says 710 ESPN night.
Oh, it's awesome.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Awesome. Wow.
Place was packed. Well, the Whiskey's a small venue, but legendary. So for us, and then if you see the pictures and the videos, and I got to post some today too, Mace, Cappy, and I were kind of all dressed the same. We kind of looked like the band. So to go up to the VIP green room to take pictures of the band, and you're thinking who was in this room? Tiny, right? The green room upstairs. Led Zeppelin, all the amazing artists that have been in this room doing a lot of things that I was kind of like, so guys, we partying? You know, we got to get pumped up, right? We all need to get pumped up for the show.
Right.
And they're like, we hear you. We hear you. And then
they're like, no, man, we're just having some cranberry juice and some water. He's like, no,
Celsius
but we're here.
energy drinks. It's
so
lovely.
the place is jammed. Let's say Bunker Beckler. And then we're sitting on with the mixing booth, ready to go on before they go on. And, I'm a little nervous because this is something when you go in front of a crowd that's not all listeners, they're like, who's this fat guy in a sailor outfit? Right? But then, as the three of us, Mace, Cappy, and myself, come down the stairs, they think we're the band. So the place erupts.
Oh, boy.
And then we do our things.
How'd that feel?
It was great. So it was a lot of fun. And then Yachtley Crew, the guys over there, I mean, they're
Killed
all
it.
Amazing. Amazing.
Is that them here?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is off their album, Seize the Day.
Did you sign any autographs, Chris? I am the Chris Morales.
I took a lot of pictures. And by the way, before the summer edition, we're going to do this again for Saturday, August 24th at the Starlight Bowl in Burbank. We'll do another 7-10 night, hopefully. They're talking about me getting jumped in and getting the Yachtley Crew tattoo that the band members have.
Oh, When you said jumped in, I thought you meant, are you going to crowd surf?
Maybe. Maybe.
How do you get jumped in a band?
Well, you get tatted.
Do you have a tattoo right now? No tattoo.
My first tattoo should be
Yachtley Crew.
Yeah.
Wow.
What does the Yachtley Crew tattoo entail?
Yeah, so it's this logo that if you can, it's their logo that's on their T-shirts and everything, and it's sort of like, I don't know even how you would describe that, but if maybe you could see it on the YouTube.
Looks like a Snoopy.
No, it's not Snoopy.
That's not Snoopy?
Oh, it's Snoopy.
That's what it looks
It's
like.
not Snoopy.
Oh, looks
what
like
are you
it.
talking about, sucker?
It's way over there. I'm sorry.
Snoopy.
Yeah.
So your
By
first.
the way, DeMarco was supposed to be there Friday night.
Okay, wait, real quick
and
on the
didn't
tattoo.
get on the guest list. Well, we'll get into that. Go ahead.
Wow.
Okay, real quick on the tattoo. By the way, this is a great that exchange you guys had earlier. So what's the if they called you tomorrow and said, "Hey, we want you to get that tattoo," are you getting it?
Yeah.
On your back.
No.
So where do they have it? They have it here?
They all have it different, forearms, shoulder.
Okay.
But not on my back.
What do you think?
I'm not that kind of guy.
What are you thinking? Right here?
No.
Just above the
What
belt
do I
line.
do? Now I'll do it up here.
Okay.
Forearm, high forearm.
Just above the
So he's
belt
in.
line. Swallow the back.
DeMarco, why were you? First off, let me just say,
What?
you were in a Nelly video. Let's start off with that.
Yes.
Okay? You played in the league for how many years?
7.
7 years.
Yes.
You're a Super Bowl champ.
Yes.
How come you're not on the guest list or the VIP list?
Well, let's get to that in a moment. And by the way, they had a music video last summer when they released their new song, Sex on the Beach, which you just heard of. Mario Lopez was in that video.
Oh, no way.
They're coming out with a new album later this year.
Okay.
I'm already angling for Cappy and I to be in the video. And I think it's happening.
You should.
You think it's going to happen?
100. 100. But we're going to get back to that in just a moment.
He's going to end up. He's going to end up with 9 tattoos.
Give me that
by the
Rocky
time
music
this is
producer.
done.
As you know, last week we gave away tickets to Fight Night OC coming up this Thursday at the Hangar in Costa Mesa. Thanks to our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Life-changing tequila founded in the city of Downey.
Feel that?
Just
I
like
did.
me.
You felt that.
And it is time to announce our grand prize winner of the Tequila Mandala Fight Night experience on the line from the city of Gardena, the great Vincent Leon. Vincent, you there, sucker?
Yes, sir.
Vincent.
Thank you, guys.
Vincent, are you ready to party, party with ringside tickets next to me on Thursday night?
Yes, sir. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Well, Vincent,
you're the party animal.
I am the party animal, sucker.
He's an animal out there, man.
Oh,
Congratulations. We are going to press the flesh. Plus, you are going to get the Mandala bottle service on Thursday night. You're going to be in the cigar lounge. And everyone knows I like to puff a stick. And you will be able to present, I think, the main title bout of the night. You will present the winner.
Oh, wow.
With the belt inside the ring.
Oh, I gotta get my wardrobe.
Exactly. Vincent, you'll be able to smell the sweat, smell the blood, smell the passion.
Let's do it. Hey, I thank you guys so much.
Congratulations,
Am I
brother.
going to smoke a cigar with you?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's do it.
And we're going to drink
Thanks,
Mandala.
man.
Vincent, I can't wait to see you Thursday night. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right, brother. We're going to put you on hold. Anyway, thank you to Tequila Mandala, the Fight Night Grand Prize Experience Thursday night in Costa Mesa
awesome.
at the Hangar.
That is awesome.
The
right
Hangar
there.
in Costa Mesa.
Travis is
We're
talking
fighting.
about attending too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back. That's
I told
right.
him
He's
I'd
back
give him
on.
a left hook. Although, by the way, so last Thursday, Travis and I went out to Black Gold to do a
That's right, the
video
golf shoot.
a
Yep.
video a bit
With Cody.
with Cody. And Travis, I was walking down the stairs and he was
Okay.
on the putting green.
Yeah.
He looks like he's lost 100 pounds.
No, he lost a lot of weight.
But he says it's only 20.
He looks great.
Yeah, he does look great.
He lost a lot of weight. He credits you in some of this because of all the walking and everything else.
Yeah.
So
And just slight diet changes, not
we're
like anything
inspiring
crazy.
each other. Yeah.
his diet changes. Basically, he's not stopping and getting fast food every night on his way home.
Pretty much.
That will change
if you're
things.
doing that, that is a
That's a
good
significant
change.
diet change.
I heard this from a doctor. It changed my life. You cannot out-train your fork. That
Okay.
changed everything. It's all about what you put in.
Can you go back to the disrespect for DeMarco on
So
Friday
apparently
night?
DeMarco wanted to be on the guest list for Friday night. Now
Well,
I
he
was
didn't want
handling.
to. He just assumed he was.
I was handling the guest list,
Yeah.
and his name never got to me to put on there. So corporate Greg apparently accepted. Hell yeah, DeMarco, we'll take care of you. Never talked to me.
Oh,
Now
he
Greg
did
made
one of those?
Greg made sure he was on the guest list.
There's your heat there with Greg.
By the way, Greg did one of those. Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
And then just completely ignores
Actually,
you.
Greg and Mason.
You asked Mason too?
Yeah, I said I'd go. And good.
All right,
Show
well,
up.
we'll
Yeah.
ask him.
Well,
Mason.
Mason made sure that him and Juan were on the guest
On
list.
the guest list?
That's not cool, man.
What?
That's not cool that they
Yeah,
didn't put
Mace
you on
got
the
a
guest
plus
list.
one, and DeMarco didn't even get on it.
I'm
You
not,
could have been
I'm
on
not
stage.
Cool, bro.
I'm not really sweating it that much.
You could have been
Chris.
our fourth.
No,
sa-
you know what, DeMarco? This is BS.
I'm not really sweating it that much.
You could have been our
sleep.
fourth sailor on Friday night.
That's not going to happen there.
You're gonna get a tattoo.
I'm not getting a tattoo. Not on the small of the back. Yeah.
But you can discuss your displeasure with Mason and Momo in crosstalk today because Mason will be in.
Did you go hard to the hoop on Friday?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you see the Instagram stories? It was a wild ride.
Opening, so we pre-gamed at the Rainbow,
Yeah.
which is right down, it's part of the same family, the same group that owns it. Band was there. It was great. Then we closed down the Rainbow. There's a picture of Cappy and I with the band at the end of the night
Nice.
at 2 a.m. I don't know how people do it. And then they did that all over again Saturday night. They had two. We helped sell out the shows. I'm going to take 710 credit for this, but I don't know how these. Well, we
rock
know
stars?
We know the rock stars.
I was
We
gonna
know.
say,
Actually, we do know.
There is some.
We do know.
There's certain creativity in certain ways.
I just
for
don't
them
think
to
I
get
have
there.
it in me. Like if they said, "Hey, let's do this again Saturday night," which they wanted me to come, and I was like, "Guys,
Let me tell you something.
I don't have 2 nights in me."
First off, I'm shocked that you said no to Yachtley Crew. The fact that you said no to them, that they were inviting you back on Saturday and you said no.
Here's the thing. I would have not been in great shape on Saturday night. Friday night, I was at my best. It was like Mandy's night. I just missed you trying to break the ice in the backstage,
right.
like
That's
you did at Mandy's too last year.
Shall I record a promo?
It was amazing. As mics are not working and the countdown is like at 1 minute.
He was very stressed at that point. Okay, the Friday night going hard to the hoop, I could see him. I'm going to give a basketball equivalent. You ever see sometimes these college teams pick up full court, 90 feet, and just playing it? That's basically him on Friday night.
Yeah.
But that means you can't play Saturday.
Right.
Wow.
So it's
And
kind of like
that's
LeBron's
what he did.
schedule.
I mean,
on
you
back-to-backs.
could. You could do it. Rock stars have figured out how. You could. You just don't want to go that route.
the Nets. Everything is fine
And if I did what he did on Friday night,
Yeah.
I'm out till Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Easily till Tuesday. Wow.
Did you see Luka talking smack to Vlade?
I did. I love what he said, though.
Sliwa, when he does a show like
Shoulda
this with
drafted
DeMarco,
me.
Yeah.
or is in the A chair, if you will, he makes a list of topics on a piece of paper to divert from LeBron. So the minute it's like a censor goes, they're pointing out LeBron stuff. Hey, did you see the Luka Clippers thing?
What would be my reason to do that on
Or like
LeBron?
the day we were at the Genesis when you put your hand on me, like stop talking. Gave me the chick hern fist.
Wow.
Like,
No, he didn't.
anytime I brought up the Lakers, because I think they
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
poorly the night before,
Here's what I did.
he would just put his hand on my chest.
He
like,
had the mic, and I just lowered the mic.
You lowered the
I
mic.
lowered it.
Because they
Wow.
were sharing a couch. That's the context to
I
this.
lowered it out of the video. I just lowered it out of the video. Go at him. Go at Bron. Let's hear it. What do you have?
Yeah, more
What do
about
you
his standing ovation from the Brooklyn Nets fans.
oh, it was great. I mean, it was a great performance. The Brooklyn Nets are not a good team.
But nobody's saying they're
in
a
the
good
first
team.
quarter, we could have easily scored on them. The 3 of us, actually the 5 of us in this studio, we could have scored 2 points against
Do you
the
know how
Nets.
you know they're not a good team? The game started 17-0.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not a
And
good
then,
team.
by the way, everybody, I literally was like, oh,
I
this
know.
is going to be easy.
It was 20 plus, and then it was down to 8.
An Eastern massacre. And it wasn't. They barely won. But LeBron, everything's fine, guys.
I don't know. The guy had, went 9 of 10 from the three-point line. Am I not supposed to mention he went 9
No,
of 10
it's
from
great.
3?
But does that
impressive.
change anything? Does it change anything?
What changes something is they're 18-8 over their last 26 games.
Okay.
They're playing good ball.
Have they beaten any teams that they're going to see in the playoffs at the top tier?
Oklahoma City.
Okay.
That's the only
I'll
team.
give you that one.
That's the only team.
Okay. So
'Cause
1
all the
out of
other
25.
teams- Milwaukee they beat twice.
Without
but
LeBron
that
on the
one,
court.
But that one doesn't.
And they're not going to see them in the playoffs.
Okay, real
They-
quick. why with LeBron not on the court? Isn't that more impressive that they?
It
beat
is
the
more
Bucks?
impressive, but they're not going to keep him off of the playoff. He's not going to sit out the playoff games.
Do you want him to sit out the
I think
playoffs?
they have a better.
I
I think they have a better chance.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
This is what we have.
I know.
It doesn't matter what certain people do.
It's unbelievable.
We're going to find a way to critique that.
That's sort of my bet. By the way, what's the Otani strikeout tracker at?
Oh
this
my
season?
God.
Let me pull it up right now.
Hey, listen, Otani had the bases loaded on Saturday. Just
Saturday night,
quick little knock.
bottom of the 10th, bases loaded,
Yep.
2 outs. This is the moment against
the
the
moment.
Cardinals.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh crap, this is going to be amazing. And he swings 2 feet behind a fastball,
Did
pops
they win
it
the
up.
series though?
Yeah, they won the DeMarco.
No, it's the
don't.
Cardinals.
I'm just
no,
saying,
but
did they win the
that
series,
one.
though?
Look, I'm more defensive on the Laker front. Yeah, this part I'm fine. We go on Otani.
And by the
on
way,
that.
Yamamoto was amazing, but let's
Yeah, it was
take
good.
him out. Now let's take him out to the 5th.
Also, Shohei Ohtani has struck out 6 times this season.
Six times.
We'll only do that on Tuesdays, where people people already hate me. But if we did that every day, I might not be able to walk outside without security.
Hey
man, that's Otani.
With him, you might be right.
Chris,
Yep.
who's your pick for tonight? Iowa, LSU, and USC,
Yeah.
UConn. Who's your picks?
LSU, USC. I got to go fight on, of course.
LSU
Yeah, I think everybody's
over
picking.
Iowa.
I think
You want
everybody's
Caitlin Clark to
picking
go down?
LSU.
I
Everybody's
love
picking
Caitlin
LSU.
Clark, but I like the LSU story too.
They also have a better front to top to bottom team than I was very Caitlin Clark heavy, but you're on the Kim Mulkey LSU quote unquote villains
Yes.
route. To
Well, I like a good villain.
to the title.
And here's the thing: USC football gave us nothing.
Nothing.
Except heartbreak. And USC men's basketball gave us nothing. By
Nothing.
the way, Bronny James, he's great. Anyway, so finally, fight on. Give me that USC fight song. Come on, sucker in there. Producer Jorge, you know the bun.
At 6 p.m. on ESPN.
Tonight's going to be amazing.
There it is.
As the USC Trojans finally give us something to be proud of as a basketball school. It's been a while.
That'd
Not
be
since
big
the
time.
old sports arena days.
That'd be big time.
Huge.
Trip to the Final Four.
I'll be watching tonight on ESPN. That's why I'm taking the early train home.
What time you going?
I'm getting out of here at 1:30, getting on that 2:15 train. Back in Orange County by 3:30. In my house by 3:45.
He's ready to go.
Perfect for both games.
He's ready to go.
You want to come over to Marco, press the flesh?
No,
sure.
he can't. He's not even on the guest list.
Oh, no, you're on the guest list.
I can't get in.
What
Wow.
outfit do we think Kim Mulkey's going to wear tonight? What sparkly outfit is she going to wear tonight?
Wear
Some
the
sort of-
sailor outfit. That's what
She
you
could wear a sailor
Wear the
outfit.
sailor outfit.
Sure.
Come over to my house. I'll put the sailor outfit on from
See?
Friday night at Yachtley Crew.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't know if DeMarco's
When you get
going
the
there.
tattoo, let me know.
The Yachtley Crew tattoo?
Yeah. When you
I
get
will.
the Yachtley Crew.
I will.
The Snoopy.
It's
Is that
happening
Snoopy?
in
What
two
is it?
And if
months.
the Rams win the Super Bowl this year, I might get a Rams suit tattoo.
Oh, can I pick where?
No.
Oh.
All right, we'll discuss.
They
can
my
figure
only
out.
rule is it has to be able to be covered by clothes.
They can
okay.
figure out the location of where the tattoo is. Hot and cold coming up next. Travis and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN.
NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week at 12:30 p.m. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen.
Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
Hi, guys. Let's go with Who's Hot. Who's Hot is NC State. Both their men's and women's basketball teams are going very deep into the tournament. They're both winning both this weekend. But I'm not only going to talk about the basketball teams, but the fans. The fan, a young fan who looks to be about 8 or 9, was caught on camera behind their coach.
Oh, that was great.
Flipping off the ref for some call sometime. And I just want to applaud them because that is a good fan. That is a quality good fan.
Yeah, I don't think a good fan has to be based on age.
Yeah.
If the ref makes the wrong call, give him the bird.
Would you correct your kiddo if they were flipping the bird to a ref on a bad call?
No, if that's what he feels in his heart, then I want him to express what's in his heart. So you gotta, sometimes you just gotta give the bird. That is random to see a kid that young, just like, and by the way, so naturally, like,
that was easy.
That's
right?
3 in the key.
Yeah.
It's like, huh?
That's pretty good.
How the hell do you know that?
DeMarco,
Boston.
Yeah, exactly that.
It depends on the call. You know what I mean? It
That's
depends
true.
on
Yeah.
the call. What just happened?
Yeah. If it's like a simple foul call, it's like there's a lot of fouls during the game. Let's save the bird
You
for
just
when it's a little more specific.
Right, when it's serious. If you're right, you're right. But if you're just doing it to do it, then no.
And okay, so another additional thing. So Kevin Keats was the NC State is the NC State men's basketball head coach. He was on the hot seat going into the season and throughout the season. And then as he got more and more wins, he got incentives. And so these incentives have totaled over $300,000 from the postseason alone. So go off to Kevin Keats and your team's run, and it may, set you up for security. I think he has initiated a 2-year extension, as well as he gets this extra money. So congrats to you, and how one kind of tournament run can kind of change someone's whole perspective.
I was thinking it's so funny. Like, you have certain fans, or you'll have certain videos where it's like a kid at a baseball game, and somebody just threw him a ball, and or a boy or a girl, and they couldn't be more excited. They run back to their parents, and then you have this video where this kid is basically flipping off the referee.
It's great.
A little drastic.
One and the same.
Little
Come
different.
on, this passion.
A little different in that one.
I love it.
Being expressed differently.
All right, now it's time for What's Cold. Okay, so What's Cold is the Cardinals radio and the Dodgers ground crew. Okay, so over the weekend, there was, I believe, the first rain delay in 7 years at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's an insane amount of time. I think they had one maybe delayed game, but it never even started. So this is a delay during the gameplay. And the Cardinals radio was just ripping the Dodgers ground crew to shreds for about 2 minutes. So I snipped off about a 1-minute chunk for you guys. So this is the Cardinals radio talking about the Dodgers grounds crew.
Ricky, this grounds crew has no clue what it's doing with the tarp. They cannot get the tarp unrolled and get it down on the field. And Oliver Marmol is upset talking to Alan Porter. He's the crew chief. And finally they get the tarp. But that infield, the skin part of the infield, has puddles all over it.
It sure does. And it took an extra 3 to 4 minutes by my count. They actually said that maybe it was about 7:11, I guess. It's 7:13. So maybe just 2 minutes of just not even being able to move the tarp while it's raining hard. And there are a lot of puddles clearly on the right side of the infield here. Obviously it doesn't rain a lot in L.A., but obviously,
they've been calling for this for over a week.
Exactly. You saw it coming if you check the
unbelievable
weather report. So they're just now, it's still not on the field, and now it is. They're running across the infield.
They're having trouble trying to cover second base, third base. Oh, they are. To say they're scuffling is an understatement.
So Dodgers ground crew deserves this hate.
Oh,
bro.
No.
It's in Los Angeles. It's SoCal. Of course they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Of course.
She just said that it's been 7 years since they've had a rain delay or something along those lines. I mean, I listen, if this was a game in Chicago, if this was a game in Minnesota, if it was a game where you thought, okay, hey, they do this a few times a year, like this is New York, like, hey, this happens. This is what happens. of course, like the guy is so angry. It's like, what are you mad about? Of course, they don't know what the hell is going on. I
But you
think
had
it's
a week to prepare. Like you said, you've been knowing this rate. You could do dry runs of rolling out this the tarp and rolling it out quickly. Come on, guys.
Yeah, listen, we can all work on our jump shot at practice.
Could have been better.
But once the game starts, there's a little bit more pressure on there. A little bit of an
I
overreaction.
think I know those two guys. But you got to remember, St. Louis fans, they call themselves the BFIB. The best fans in baseball, so baseball is everything to them.
Sure.
So messing up the infield tarp is like a sin. So I could see that.
I mean, Michelle Smallman probably supports them and everything like that too.
Big time.
I'm gonna throw one more cold in here.
So-
I'm just do a bonus cold. Okay, so in the Texas and NC State game yesterday for the women's basketball game, I was at a bar and I was looking up and I was like, why are they measuring the court? Like what's going on?
You see this?
And
No.
they had two different distances for the 3-point on either end of the court. So one end of the court is longer distance than the other side of the court.
What the hell?
How does this happen?
How does that happen?
I had no idea.
They eventually, there's nothing they could really do about it at the point in the time because they realized it as they were doing shoot around. The girls were probably like, this doesn't really feel right. It feels a little far. And so they measured it, and they agreed. Both teams agreed to just continue with the game. But this is what Vic Schaefer, the Texas head coach, had to say after the game.
Well, I hate to say this, but I have a lot of colleagues that would say only in women's basketball. I mean, it's a shame, really, that it even happened. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm not the culprit here. You guys are asking me about something that I had no control over. So Vic Schaefer ain't the problem. But anyway, it is what it is. So it's a shame. That's all I can say.
All right, so if you were these coaches, would you have demanded to play on a different court, or would you have just let the game go as it was?
It depends on what the answer would have been. Like, hey, we can't play on this floor. Well,
Right.
we're going to have to postpone the game until
Right.
tomorrow. Well, okay, then let's play. But only in women's basketball? What do you mean by that?
He's saying that
they
this
wouldn't have
mistake would not happen if it was on a men's court.
The attention
right? Mm-hmm.
would have been paid more closely to the men's game. That there's too many eyes on the men's game that this mistake wouldn't have happened. That it wasn't just that it was due to lack of attention, a lack of care for the details.
You think
of the
that's true?
women's sport.
I'm sure they've messed up men's floors, too.
I've never heard of it.
They've measured the
Not
height
that.
of sometimes.
Yeah,
the men's,
I've seen that
the men's
before.
hoop
Okay. Yeah, let's just put it this way. I see where he's coming from. Like, I could see why he's going to be defensive towards that. I could see why he's saying that, well, you're paying this much attention to the men's. You're not doing it with the women's. To go back to her original question of what would you do if you're the coach, I don't think there's anything you could do. You know, like at this stage, this isn't just a regular game. It's a
Delaying
tournament
a day
game.
would be a lot.
Yeah, I think you just got to roll with the punches. Everybody's already in the arena, so
gotta play.
you got to
Yeah.
play the game. So I think that's how they had to handle it.
Were they using the lines the way they like? This 3-pointer is obviously deeper than the other, but
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened that it got behind, like that it got
One
this
distance
far.
was further than the other.
Yeah, but one distance was further than the other. And it goes back to a couple of years ago where the men's and women's, facilities for the Final Four and like the tournament were just so disparaging. Like,
Oh, I saw that. The
We've
weight
come
room.
a long way
Yeah.
in terms of like.
But isn't there somebody in charge
The
that's
equity.
supposed to look at these things before the game starts?
Not anymore.
Right.
Not
Really?
you.
And also, you
Jeez,
might
man.
blame more whomever is the team that hosts it. So, like, if it was, it
Sure.
wasn't at Crypto, but you might have blamed the crew at
AEG if it was
Crypto.
like their arena or whatever
Right,
it is.
exactly. So that might be who becomes responsible for it at all. But it is such a weird thing to have to play with two different size distances.
I've seen how they set the tape, because it's essentially tape. I covered the All-Star game when it was here in 2018, and it was at the convention center when it was like the rookies against the sophomores or whatever.
First and second year guys.
Yeah. Yep.
And they were like, as media, you have early access to kind of find your spot or where you're gonna stand and whatnot. And I saw guys like literally, it looks like tape. They're laying down tape, and that's how they put the lines on this little device that looks like a little car.
Yeah.
And they're pushing at it. They're pushing it, laying down the lines, measuring, making sure everything is on point. So, I mean,
Can you
there's
imagine
people-
if that was your job and then all of a sudden the game is delayed and you're like, I think I screwed this up.
You took that gummy.
By the way, you know what you do see? Sometimes you see the rims.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, it's bent a little bit or
Yep.
something like that. But that
Yeah.
usually happens typically because something happened during
Somebody
the game.
grabbed it, right.
All right, Hot and Cold is brought to you by NextGen. NextGen, the official heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. Call 3 Next Gen. Again, 833-3 Gen, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. We got the dump coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show, 710 ESPN.
Being convicted of a
Happy April Fool's Day to you and everybody else.
Happy April Fool's Day.
To
Yes.
you and your family. Were you ever one of those that, not necessarily April Fools, but just like, pranks, doing a lot of pranks, stuff like that?
I was always the mark.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always that guy.
Yeah.
Because I would always
trust
buy it.
people?
Yeah, I would always buy it. I'd forget, like April. Oh, we're supposed to fool each other. Yeah,
I'm
I forget.
surprised Bergman hasn't fooled us all because he's such a prankster. He loves pranks.
Loves pranks. You know who else loves pranks?
Who?
Travis loves
Yeah,
pranks.
you should-
Does he
You
really?
should prank him next time you see him.
He's
Baseball.
big on like getting scared too out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So like
Scaring people?
Yeah.
No,
you
he
should-
likes
you should
being
do it next
scared.
Time
Yeah,
you
he
have the Rams broadcast.
What? He likes to scare people?
No,
Let me
he
give you an
likes
example.
Being scared, and he likes pranks done against
Let
him.
me give you an example.
Okay.
So like let's say he's doing the broadcast, right? He's doing the pre and everything else. If you went underneath the desk and just hid there for like a solid half hour without him knowing, and then grabbed like his leg or something during the he loves that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Like
loves
he'll
it.
freak out but love it.
He loves it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He'll
it's his thing.
love
Jorge, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not hanging out under a
Or
table
you-
for half an hour though.
Here's
That's
another
not-
one.
Wait, no, DeMarco, here's
Example.
what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
you do hits with us during
Yeah,
the season. And so, you know how you do the ones in person sometimes?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you're going to go behind our little backdrop. And
Yep,
then
yep. This
I'll
is-
be
he
like,
loves
I
these.
can't find DeMarco anywhere. And then you just go creep up while he's starting his segment and go, boom. And he'll love that.
What will he do?
Steal his keys, okay?
Yeah?
And unlock it. I could help you with this, right?
Okay.
And then you could go in like the
Yeah, the
back of his
Rotolo
truck.
Chevy, yeah.
You go
I'll
in the
hide
back
in
of
the
his
car.
truck.
Okay.
You go in the back. and then I'll put his keys back, and then when he
Again,
goes out,
halfway to his house, halfway to wooden to go,
Pop out.
you just pop out.
Boom.
the rush he gets for these things, it's amazing how much he loves it.
Are you kidding me?
It's
Yeah.
amazing how much
Okay.
You'd be surprised how much he loves it.
That's that baseball background, right? Don't they give each other hot
Exactly.
feet? Yeah, Steve,
Yeah,
they're
the
crazy.
pranks in the dugout there.
Yeah. Don't you guys do this?
Don't
No, we
forget,
do this.
come September, August and September, that this is something that you're going to do. He loves that
Okay,
stuff, man.
I'll mess with him.
hide his press pass.
I will mess with him. Okay.
Today is National Sourdough Bread Day. So
Is
let
it
me
really?
let me tell you
Yeah.
what I think of right when I see that. Growing up, we used to go up. I had some family in Monterey.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And we used to,
Mexico or California?
California.
Okay,
Beat me
got
to
it.
it. I was like, hold on there. Tigres.
I don't think we had any Chaldeans, Middle
yeah.
Eastern,
No.
in Monterey,
Hey,
Mexico.
I
I don't
don't
think
know.
we were there,
Everyone
but you
gets
never know.
everywhere.
Up
You never know.
north, yeah.
They were up in so they were up in Monterey in California, right? And every once in a while we go to San Francisco. We go to Fisherman's Wharf. And
We're up there. Great spot.
I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know it's like a very commercial
Bowl.
place to go and everything else.
The bread bowl.
Bro, that sourdough bread bowl with the clam chowder and top.
Get a
And they
Disneyland.
take the piece of
California
bread,
Adventure.
they take the piece of bread and they kind of cover it, and now you're mixing the bread in and everything else. That's like that's all I
Heaven.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to do.
Walk outside. You got the steam coming out.
Just
Oh,
the
it's
best.
Perfect. Yes.
I have been contemplating my bread era where I start making bread. I have made bagels before, but
She's brought in bagels before.
I have
Yeah.
brought in my homemade bagels before, but sourdough bread specifically is extra because you have to have a sourdough starter that you have to feed a couple days before you actually make your bread. My best
Jorge, you're
friend,
nodding. You've done this before?
No, I've seen it done.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
my best friend.
Jorge's
Bobby-
nodding on the Travis Loves Pranks thing still.
Got that, but he's
still
nodding on the
nodding on that.
sourdough. Okay.
I got delay on this side.
Yeah.
It's on delay.
Sourdough starter?
Yes, so it's basically how you. It's very different than any other way to make breads.
Yeah.
But my friend Sarah has a whole bread Instagram that she does all the time. But no, her and she mails me her bread sometimes. But I really want to be a bread maker. I really need something else to do with my life because I don't have kids and I have all this time to sleep and to make bread.
And make bread.
Panadero.
Wow.
Okay, you said something we were talking about the Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah.
What were you saying about
with the sourdough bread bowl?
seagulls?
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't
Oh,
do is
yeah.
walk outside.
they're
'cause
aggressive.
They are waiting on you, and they come get you. Yeah.
That's a good life.
They're a bunch of bandits.
They're just
Be a
living
seagull
out there
at
every
Fisherman's
single
Wharf.
day at Fisherman's Wharf. You know how easy it is to just give them a piece of bread? People
Oh,
are
yeah.
doing that all day long.
Idiots are doing that all day long.
Yes,
Pop.
they look
Sometimes
at.
there's
a rookie.
I got to hit a jumper, somebody. Then you got 35
Wow.
swarming you.
Sourdough day. I didn't know that.
All right, I saw this 1985. This day, 1985. Nike Air Jordans went on sale to the public.
I remember.
Yeah?
Yes, I remember.
Did you buy some of the first batch of Nike Air Jordans?
No, I passed because I have two older brothers, and Mom was going to buy us all the same colored shoe, and I just passed. Go ahead, let them do it, and I'll get the next when they come out again. So yeah, I remember everybody had to have them. It went crazy. The first $100 shoe, right?
Was it $100 back then?
I think it was like $100. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
Who pays $100 for sneakers? This is back in '85.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I had a time machine.
Well, it's funny. That kind of changed the game.
Big time.
Right? Michael Jordan becomes, and I think we all saw, what was the doc a year ago? What was that doc called with Matt Damon?
Air.
That's
Air.
what it was.
Good
Air.
movie.
I think we all kind of, it's cool to get some of the backstory. It's cool to kind of, he's going to get stock. He's not going to get actual. He's going to get, it's going to have less to do with upfront money.
Yeah.
Let's see
More
how this thing
future,
goes.
yeah.
He was by far, still to this day, Jordans are Jordans. Till this day, the logo is the logo.
They're more than sneakers.
As marketable as can be. And we were just talking about this a couple weeks ago. New Balance came out with the new logo for Shohei, right? And Shohei basically running the bases, whatever it is. It is so difficult
Yeah.
to create these iconic, and only a couple times. Tiger Woods, he's got his own brand now. Okay, I don't think anybody really jumped at what that logo was, but this is one of the more iconic ones.
Beckham had one as he's gonna kick his famous or
I don't remember
signature
that one.
free kick.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got
yeah.
this
Bend it.
silhouette of him.
Oh, wow.
of trying to for the it didn't hit.
Never
Yeah.
hit.
And the one thing about Michael Jordan too, and I think I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast. They were talking about the making of The Last Dance, but the creator of The Last Dance, and how the Jordan brand basically had its stake in the production of that movie. And it's just Michael Jordan is just so I almost know him more as like the brand
Sure.
and like the aura of the person, because I never saw him actually play like while I was watching basketball. But it's kind of cool how it's gonna live beyond him. Like God forbid
it
he
ain't going
lives
anywhere.
as long as he wants and forever or whatever. I don't know, but like his brand will live on for a very long
Chuck
time.
Taylor All Stars.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. Shaq had one, right?
Shaq did.
His
Shaq
logo
had a
was him
shoe.
dunking, ripping down
Still
the rim.
does. He sells them at Walmart.
Yeah.
He sells them at Walmart.
Absolutely.
Shaq had one. Who else had one? I'm trying to think here.
I mean, Kobe has his brand.
Yeah.
Kobe has his, but
Under
logo.
Nike,
It wasn't his silhouette as a logo, was it?
No, it's not.
No,
You guys
it's
know what
the
it is?
Mamba.
No,
It was like
that
a
little
star.
Triangle?
Yeah.
No, okay, the triangle's supposed to be the what do they call it from a sword? The
Oh,
sheath.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yep. Do remember that.
Are you?
I trip now. I see some of these players, the young players from the Rams.
Yeah.
Like, just ask them when we're standing trying to go into these stadiums. I look down at the shoes. How much do those shoes cost? $7,500.
Well, now
And
you
they're
have
sneakers.
now you have what's the collaborations you have? It's like Kanye's collaboration
Yeah.
with a high-end brand, or you have some of these Nikes ended up collaborating with Gucci or
It's
whatever
crazy.
it is.
I know. The shoe wear is just
Yeah.
the shoe game has exploded.
That's all Mace wears. Mace only
see.
wears the Nike Gucci
What are you rocking right now?
pair.
Gets criticized all the time. I don't even know what these are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are definitely the first. Those are the Air
First
Jordans.
editions Air
Those are the Air
Jordans.
Jordans.
There's like Asics or something, aren't they?
They could be.
Yeah, I think
Comfy.
they're Asics.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make fun. I wear the Asics, I wear the Hokas, I wear the Skechers.
I wear the Hokas.
And you
Do you
have
wear
no,
the Hokas?
You have no back
I
trouble.
wear Hokas.
No,
Hokas are
none,
good.
none. Yeah, the Skechers, I do not apologize for the Skechers. They're
You
actually
shouldn't
really
apologize.
comfortable.
Yeah, you shouldn't apologize.
Beto will be in here later on. He
Talking about
bags on me
Skechers?
about the
Oh.
shoes all the time.
Wow.
Mama, how you been?
I'm okay. How are you
Yeah?
guys?
What's
Yeah,
going
good.
on?
What's going on?
Same
My
old.
workout. I had nothing today.
Nothing.
Oh, good. That's
you know
good
when you go
news
to the
for me,
workout?
huh?
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be great.
Great.
No, I stopped and got a smoothie, so I'm fired up on sugar. But like, you know when you go work out and
Yeah.
it's a Monday and you're like, oh, there's no juice.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Any of this.
Not fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all right.
Not DeMarco. You do something with
get tired.
DeMarco.
It's
He's all juice.
No, I mean, we
I
all
heard
feel
you
that
coming
way.
in,
You
yeah.
got to gut through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to get
He's
through
got
it.
all juice.
Do you have an agenda like that one guy who, with his friends, makes out an
What was
agenda of all the topics
Could you
that they want to
imagine
cover? Yeah, I know.
Well, DeMarco was
Why
a
don't
fan.
you like talking about LeBron? I heard this on the way in.
Wait, you don't like talking about what?
He
Don't you like
talking
talking
bad
about?
talking about LeBron? He doesn't. Oh, where's LeBron? He doesn't like talking bad about LeBron, or when you talk bad about LeBron. He will
Okay,
change
Chris,
subject.
this is.
Oh, is this
Who
a
do you think
Morales
created
thing?
this?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
You know what?
Is that
I
the
think-
explanation?
Yeah,
I think that
it's
Alan
Morales.
has a fantastic eye roll. Can you do that again?
Do it again.
I didn't even know
Hold on,
I eye
hold on.
rolled.
Let me see if I can do this impromptu.
Okay.
Why don't you like talking about LeBron?
No, that was too much. That was too much.
No,
that was me
The
knowing.
first eye roll,
That
I
was me
like,
knowing.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me knowing.
Keep rolling.
It was a really, I mean, like, there's
You
this
could hear
on
it.
a side,
The eye
and then
roll,
there's
you
the-
could actually
and then
hear
there's
it.
Singapore
Yeah, we'll
eye
cut it,
roll.
we'll cut
You
it.
could hear the eye roll.
We're
Yeah,
gonna have
you
to
can
get
hear
that
the
on
eye
YouTube.
roll.
Somebody back that
But the
up.
eye roll had nothing. The eye roll was basically for Chris Morales.
And well deserved.
Yeah, it was for Chris
That
Morales.
is always my reaction
Chris
to Morales as well.
doesn't want to. Chris Morales is like, how many strikeouts does Shohei
Oh, yeah.
have?
Yeah, he's
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Killing
let's
him.
do the strikeout counter for Shohei. It's like, what is wrong with you?
Braun came off a game.
What is wrong with him?
Braun came off a
40 last
game
night.
hitting 9 of 10 from the 3-point line, and I'm supposed to bash Braun. I didn't know
Right.
what else
Yeah,
am I supposed to
yeah,
say.
no,
That
I
was
did-
the eye roll.
I was trying to
Shohei,
think-
he wants to get
There
traded.
was
I was
kind
trying
of
to
like a
think-
silent
Not
sigh,
traded.
too.
Benched. He wants him
Benched.
benched, not
What was,
traded.
what was the normal? In other words, what was the negative to LeBron's performance yesterday?
He doesn't
Like,
know.
is there-
I
Oh
know.
no,
I
no,
know what it was.
What was
I know
it?
what
You
it
didn't
was.
beat
Hold
a
on.
team
Hold
that
on.
you're going to
It
see.
was that
Yeah.
it's all about him, and it's everybody else gets diminished when he does good.
No,
Well,
his
no, and
argument
also
today
what he
was
said?
Brooklyn wasn't good.
Brooklyn's
Brooklyn
not
wasn't
good,
good.
Brooklyn
and
wasn't good.
you haven't beaten the team you're going to see in the playoffs.
Right, and then you were like, well, they beat Oklahoma City.
And he's like, oh, okay.
I'll give you that one.
Forget that example.
No, forget that.
You did Yachtley Crew. Should we do it now? No, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah,
some
yeah,
Supercross
yeah.
stuff. Some Supercross.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins. Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Bro, that was good.
Yeah.
You have like a form to your the arm
You
start.
sort of lean around and you kind of give it that. Yeah, the whole woo 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 thing is a thing.
I thought you were reaching for something.
Yeah, no, that's like I'm pulling away from the mic a little bit so I can go.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
That's like
And it's not right on top of the mic. It's core. It's like it's core. It's core work.
I thought you were pulling on the ASICs.
Yeah,
okay, I
This
like
guy was like he was like Mahomes out
got in
there,
there,
like
didn't he?
kind of
You know?
leaning his arm.
Yeah.
All right, so Friday night.
Friday night. How about that?
How was it?
It was a blast.
Okay.
It really was fun.
Yeah.
We went to the Whiskey, and we saw Yachtley Crew, and a bunch of people from this. Morales was there. Bergman was there. I'm trying to think who else from the station was there.
Cap, obviously.
Cappy and Rachel was there. Cappy brought two other random women.
Okay.
One was
people in
named
the back that you don't know their
Sandra.
names, right?
What
And
was
then all
one
the
was
people in the back where you don't know their
one
names.
was named Sandra. I know that. She introduced
Cap
me
came
to
with
her like
three
twice.
women.
Wait a minute.
Cap came with
That
three.
was a straight up homewrecker comment. That was like
What?
You're stirring the pot.
No, because Rachel was there.
No, he literally called it Charlie's Angels. Him and three women.
He
It was
co-signed this, Mo.
Rachel, Sandra, and the
third
Ringo.
girl.
Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo. And a bunch of people from MCs and all kinds of stuff were there Friday. And we went on stage at the Whiskey.
That's right.
I said virtually nothing.
So who did most of the? Did Chris just start talking?
Right, yeah, rock. That was a pretty reasonable facsimile.
Did he say
of what
anything about
Morales-
LeBron or Shohei
He
when
did
he was
not.
up there?
He did not
I'm
do
surprised.
the strikeout counter, and he did not do the anti-LeBron rant.
Because they also were coming
I'm gonna
off.
stick up for Morales on this one, okay?
Which one?
That game on Saturday. So there's like the rain out. There's the rain
Right.
delay.
Yeah.
And I was at a kid birthday party as it started. The rain delay goes, and we all come back, and then all of a sudden I go, "Oh, they're playing again. Let's turn the game back on." And they come and get a bases loaded. It's like this is the
This is
moment.
it.
Yeah.
This is what they're paying.
Saturday night.
$700
Yeah.
Saturday. Everybody who stuck
Dodger
around through
Stadium.
the rain delay, like. I mean, there were some Hardy fans who stuck that out, and
Yes,
then
they
the
are.
dude popped it up, and
Yeah.
it was just like, "Come on, man! But you got to do something
Yeah,
better
damn,
than that."
done with them. I'm done with
So
them.
I
I'm
think-
not
Put him on
done
the
with him,
bench.
but I'm like, that was like your moment. This is LA. If
By
you're
the way,
gonna show out.
did
That's
you
the stage.
watch the rain delay?
A little bit. The crew
Okay.
was slow, dude.
The crew was so.
I was like,
clueless.
Should we play some of
They
it?
had
Should we-
no idea what they were
Totally.
doing.
Okay, listen.
You actually have audio of it?
No, the St. Louis Crew.
Listen to the
was
Cardinals.
ridiculous.
Okay.
The Cardinals broadcast.
Okay.
Listen.
Ricky, this grounds crew has no clue what it's doing with the tarp. They cannot get the tarp unrolled and get it down on the field, and Oliver Marmol is upset talking to Alan Porter. He's the crew chief. And finally they get the tarp, but that infield, the skin part of the infield, has puddles all over it.
It sure does, and they took
lost
an extra
it.
3 to 4 minutes by my count.
They lost
Oh,
it.
it did.
said
It did
that
not even look
maybe it
like
was, about
they knew the
7-11, I
direction
guess,
to
at
roll it out. Is it
7:13.
possible they didn't
2
know?
minutes of just not even being
How
able
many
to
times
be
have
able
they
to
done
move
that?
the tarp
Okay.
while it's raining?
Right,
Is there-
that's the point.
How many
These
times
are
have they done
very
that? Yeah.
inexperienced tarp
I was going to say,
operators.
like,
It never
if,
rained.
if you were in New York or Philly or Minnesota,
Francisco?
they have no idea what's going
Right,
on.
right.
If there's
I
one
could've
market,
put the tarp on faster than those guys.
Yeah.
Like we used to have it down. It was like you get the tarp out. Okay, and it was like a fire drill. Like let's go, because if you don't get it on fast enough,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's,
Right, right.
You might as well not have it on, because once it's filled with puddles, it's too late.
It's
but
over.
it's funny that
Wow.
you remember that. Like
yeah.
you remember, like not even you remember that, but like you're sitting here saying like that's what stood out to you on
Oh
Saturday.
yeah,
that
it's
they
like
couldn't get the.
they are bad at tarp operations.
I mean,
and you know, I was
opening
actually,
series. They weren't really. It was probably a new crew.
but I'm talking to Juan about it. I'm like, do you really?
Seriously.
Do you? It's impossible to have an experienced tarp crew.
Yeah, you're not.
If you're in Los Angeles, we had one rain out in the last 5 years.
But it
Surprised
is
they didn't
not-
put out
like,
blankets
this
or
is-
something.
This is your whole job. This is your whole job. This is why you were at the game.
By the way,
Right.
it's your whole job, and it happens one night a season.
I mean, you got to be
at the
ready.
most.
Like,
Yeah.
don't they have spring training for the tarp crews?
Yeah, it wasn't exactly one shining
What time
moment.
are you guys having the tarp crew on?
Yeah, we're having the head of the tarp crew on.
And
Yeah.
you're just going
We're
to go
talking
right
a little
after
bit-
him?
Oh, gonna go right. Absolutely, gonna hammer the guy. Hammer the guy.
I mean, if I was in the stands there, I would have been like, do y'all need some help?
Yeah.
Because what's going on?
Everybody
Like,
should
the
have pitched
Cardinals
in,
were
yeah.
like, let's
Can
go.
you imagine drilling this thing every day in LA? Like it's
It's
never
not
going to
that
rain
hard.
out here.
No, that's it.
It's really a good workout.
That's it. We're done.
It's kind of fun. Rolling the tarp is fun.
I'm sure, but
it's so fun.
It's
like
never
like
gonna happen.
It was one of my favorite things. Right?
Yeah.
Let's get the tarp on, and I was the weather girl in charge of telling
Oh, right.
the
Momo's
coach,
a
like
weather
making
girl.
the call.
Wow.
Do
There's a
we
weather
need
girl?
to tarp? Yeah, I was the team weather girl.
Momo's a weather girl in training.
Do we need to tarp the field tonight? Because if it rains, we won't be able to practice tomorrow.
Right.
Ramona,
so-
this is kind of like a real breakdown here. This
This is real.
Yeah.
I was feeling this, like watching that rain delay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, you need to. Everybody just needs to pick a spot.
Yeah.
You gotta. First of all, you get it out there. And then everybody just starts opening it up. You got to
get
just
it out
go. Everybody's got to row the boat at the same time.
Roll.
Okay, I have a
Get it
question.
going, and then the key is you don't step on it. Like you got to make
Yeah.
sure.
Can't step on it.
Big.
If you step on it as you're rolling,
Yeah,
then
they
people
won't
start
roll
falling,
anymore, and people fall and slip.
You
Get
can
it out
punch
there.
holes in it if
Correct.
you got cleats
Holes,
on.
and then
So
you get
then
puddles
why even have
anyway.
the tarp
So
there
for
if there's
us,
a
the
hole
whole
in it?
choreography was you got to put your turf shoes on.
Yeah,
because we
turf
were
shoes.
playing in cleats.
Yeah.
Oh.
So as soon as you could, you had to switch from your cleats to your turf shoes.
Yep.
So that
So
you
you
can
can roll
it.
out the
So
tarp
there's no
without
holes.
stepping
No
through it.
holes in it.
And one year, this is big. We got
Zoom
that
in on
tarp.
Tarp tails.
Can
Tarp
somebody
tails.
zoom in on it?
Let's do tarp
So
tails.
Take us off the camera. Zoom in right
Wow,
there.
yeah,
Big.
this is it.
This is
Single
big.
Momo.
This is
Put her in
why-
a single.
This is why it really makes my blood boil when you guys say that I went to Cal, because one year we got the tarp on our field. It was during a doubleheader, so we had to get that on because we had 2 games to get in.
Yep.
And we knew that I had checked the radar. That storm was going to pass right on through.
Sure.
We could just get the tarp on, get it off, let's go.
And there's 2 games.
And Cal started doing a slip and slide.
Oh, well, see, I
On
like
our
that,
tarp.
though. I like that.
On your tarp.
You would.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's
But
not
they
okay.
had their.
Have you ever seen
No,
Major
it's
League
not okay.
Baseball players do the slip and slide?
fun.
Yeah, that's
They
after
do.
you call the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do. They do the slip and slide, and it's
No.
fun.
But not in the middle.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get these games in. We
You
got
know,
the tarp on.
look,
We got our turf shoes
Momo,
on. Let's go.
this is an
You guys
entertainment
can't be
product.
out there running on our tarp doing slip and slide.
This
like,
is
that's
an
fun.
entertainment product, Momo, and it is very entertaining to watch baseball players
Yeah.
slide on the tarp.
After they
This
call
is
the
true.
game.
Yeah.
If you were at the
After
game
they
on
call
Saturday.
It. After they go, okay, that's it. We're all going home.
Yeah, Macy, I
Now
feel
you
like
can
you're
slip and
joking
slide.
around about this. This
No,
isn't
no,
a
I'm
joke.
dead serious.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
this
serious.
is
Dead
this
cold
isn't a
serious,
joke.
Yeah.
You don't slip and slide on somebody else's turf.
Yeah, no, good point.
That's
No,
like
fair
that's our
point.
tarp.
Fair point. Point taken.
And they didn't take their shoes off.
Yeah. You're
If
right.
you were there on Saturday, would you have
Beat
booed?
Cal.
Would you have booed the tarp crew?
I would have started yelling.
Okay.
By the way,
You actually have to ask that question?
Yeah.
So
I started barking orders.
I was watching the game on Saturday.
Let's go. You get down to the end. Let's roll it out, guys. Let's go.
My
tarp
big
crew
takeaway-
guys crying.
Who knew
Damn
we do?
tarp on the field.
Who
Just
knew
look
we
at
do
the puddle
10
my
minutes on the
shortstop.
tarp?
On the tarp.
It was. I'm serious. There was
Unreal.
puddles.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just 10
the
minutes.
Cardinals announcers are right. They were so right. I'm glad that
Because
you played
this
that
is
Call 'em out.
only
Kinda
this is only
scuffling.
a piece of her story. The rest of her story is at 1:30.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
stay
my
tuned.
God.
This is part 1.
Wow.
Book 2 comes up at 1:30 today. Book 2
Do you want
of
to
the
hear about
tarps.
the guys in Oregon who had the flaming machine that dried the turf?
Yes, but at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 2
Because
o'clock.
we
This-
wanted to
this,
space
like,
it.
Weird hippie guy from Oregon had a lawnmower type thing, and it would like.
Oh, yeah.
And it would
Oh,
dry the
really?
field.
That.
It was so cool.
I've seen that.
Oh, that is
Football
cool.
fields have that.
Do they have
Oh,
that?
yeah. You got to melt it.
It was
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, we don't get tarps.
No.
Yeah.
No tarps.
Did anybody go?
Oh, by the way, Yamamoto threw a clean 5.
Yeah, throw
Yeah,
But
some
then the
did.
tarp thing happened.
And then the tarp thing, and if they
Yeah.
would have got the tarp, no, they would have pulled him anyway.
Yeah.
'cause
Wow.
he-
Yeah,
once he
no.
warmed down. It's,
Well, yeah, once you warm down, that's it. But
Yeah.
I think he would have kept going.
By the way, that's not a thing. Warm down. I just made that up. You don't
No,
warm,
warm
down.
down.
You just get cold.
No, you
because
warm
they're
down.
not playing.
You warm down. You
can't
sli-
really-
slightly.
You come out of the game. It's
You're
like when
less-
they have an
you're
inning
less
where you bat
warmer.
around the order, and
Right.
then you're the pitcher's like,
DeMarco,
I've been
you're
sitting there
following
too
all
long.
this, right?
I have never heard warm down.
warm down.
Warm down. I've
Cool
never
down.
heard-
You cool down.
Cool down. I've heard
Who
that.
went-
Call warm
who
down.
went-
Not warm down.
Who went hardest to the hoop on Friday? Like, who were you looking at and saying,
You just
you
picked
know,
that
I
young-
probably
really-
stop drinking right now?
Look at Bergman looking at me.
Where is he?
Bergman.
Is he
Oh,
staring
okay,
at you?
wait. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Okay.
That look says
Uh-huh.
somebody went way too hard to the hoop. That's all that look says.
You don't think that look says I went too hard
That's
to the hoop?
what I think. Yeah.
No, he said no.
Bergman did go to. He went to the rack.
I feel like Bergman. That's
Bergman, did you go hard to the hoop?
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, I got to be honest. Everybody did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, everybody did.
Y'all Uber?
Of course.
Was this like an Uber
We
situation?
Ubered there and Ubered back.
Oh, yeah.
And Juan went hard to the hoop. Everybody.
What'd you drink? What kind of drinks?
I did not drink. I drank Diet Cokes and ate gummies. That was my night.
That's hard to
That
do.
was a good
Gummies.
recipe for me.
Yeah, that's
I
hard
did
to
not.
do.
I did not crossfade.
Okay, but
Yeah.
plural gummies.
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 Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But everybody else was pounding drinks.
Taking them down like nothing.
Oh yeah, and the band is great. Yachtley Crew's fantastic. I always was sort of not in on the joke about Yacht Rock Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Morales
yeah.
plays
Me
all
too.
yacht.
Right.
Now I get it. Hey, Brandy, you're a
Now
fine
you're
girl.
in.
You're a
Yeah.
fine girl.
Now you're in.
Talking about live music, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You like pina coladas, getting caught in the sailing away.
Mama, what are you into? What do you listen to?
everything.
Everything?
All over the place.
Okay.
What about the new Beyonce album? Have you listened to it?
Daniel and I were listening.
Came out
Daniel
Friday. It was huge.
Jolene.
Emily
Like,
played
that
some
one
on
was
Friday.
awesome.
It was really good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Texas
we're
Hold'em is the one that came out earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. And then I love the one
The
she
Dolly
does with
Parton
Miley
one.
Cyrus.
Oh, that one's
Two
good
Most
too.
Wanted was
Yep.
great. I really like Just for Fun. It's a little slower, and
Yep.
I really liked her cover of Blackbird because
That was awesome,
honestly,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and maybe this is
The
ignorant
Beatles
of me.
I love Blackbird.
I
Yeah.
didn't know the history behind why Paul McCartney wrote Blackbird.
Oh,
and
I
then
didn't
her
either.
and her country, like the black woman that sang with her on that album, just elevated it. So Paul McCartney wrote that song for a black woman in the South about the Little Rock Nine.
Oh, wow.
So that's what
I
it's
didn't
about.
know
And then she
that.
had her backup singers be other black women in country. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Good for her. And then we've got, don't you have a Taylor Swift album coming out soon?
Tortured Poets on the 12th.
On the 12th.
So what's okay? So is she gonna try to one up Cowboy Carter?
Oof.
I don't know.
Is that where they are in their?
By the way, aren't they always
friends.
sort of in competition with you? It seems like when one
Well,
has
it's
an
the
album,
Beehive.
the other one has an album at the same time.
They are in friendly competition with each other, I guess. But they are friends. Like, they go to things. They came to each other's premieres. They have been supportive
Yeah.
of each other ever
Right.
since the, like, I'm going to let you
Kanye
finish
thing.
moments. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think, honestly, Taylor has done basically no pub for Tortured Poets coming up, too.
Oh, but
so
that's part of it.
Exactly. She's just trying to release it, and it's going to happen what's going to happen. I'm not exactly like, oh, my God, I can't wait. I'm just like, oh, it'll be here.
Well, she releases a new album almost every year, doesn't
Okay,
she?
so
recordings,
She
yeah.
released like 4 albums during the
seriously.
pandemic. They just
And,
kept coming.
And how many songs are on that Cowboy Carter? 27.
27, yeah.
Are there
27
27
songs?
cuts?
Yeah,
Wow.
and I also really love the ones that are like the Dolly or Willie, like
Yeah.
kind of talking us through some
heard
stuff.
that. It's
So
awesome.
if you guys haven't listened to it, it's basically as if you're listening to radio in like rural Texas, and you're kind of trying to change the
Yeah.
radio station, and then Willie Nelson is the host of like the Smoke Station,
Yeah.
and he'll talk you through some of the tracks. It's really cool.
Oh, that is cool. That is. I've not listened to the album from
Not
beginning
yet.
to end.
No,
but
I just listened to parts of it.
But I
Yeah.
love Jolene, and I love the one she does with Miley Cyrus, who I think
Hmm.
is like one of the coolest. I would
Miley's
love to hang
awesome.
out with Miley Cyrus.
Miley's awesome.
She seems like she'd be a lot of fun
She
to
and
hang out
Dolly
with.
are Dolly's like her godmother or
Right,
something.
right.
So she performed. I remember seeing Dolly Parton at the Bowl, and Miley Cyrus got up there and did a
Oh,
duet
that's
with
cool.
her.
Wow.
And they were awesome together. Like
Yeah.
they're like Miley's a real musician.
Like Hannah
just-
Montana?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, she's
back
all
then.
she's
Yeah.
all grown up.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
yeah.
She's
Okay.
she's a good performer. She
I mean, I
won the
think the
Grammy
problem
this
is-
year.
DeMarco's
like-
going to listen all the way home.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, like, was she young then when she sang
no,
with
she was
Dolly?
older. She was
oh,
older. Like in her-
oh,
maybe
wow.
like 8 years ago.
Oh,
or
wow.
something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of tarp.
Yeah, 1:30
conversation
tarp
today.
talk.
Tarp talk.
Everything
like
you
it.
ever wanted to know.
About
a
tarps
tarp.
at
Yeah.
1:30, and then who's the guy coming on?
I can tell you by the
like
time
the
I
tarp
overslept when
professional
we were
that you said, the
Oh,
the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer Fidel Arturo is going to be here
He's
to
the
talk
Hall of
about
Famer?
how to unroll a tarp.
Well, I
That
can tell you
is-
how to unroll that tarp.
And you are about to.
Super Crosstalk is brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. Tarp Talk coming up next.
Up next.
Stay right here.